1 minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
He's a violin prodigy. Her full name is Maggie the Stallion. They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
I like how spicy this Dallas 49ers rivalry is becoming. Hey, welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff, right here on CBS Sports Radio. Listen, I know that this rivalry goes back a long time. We're not ignorant to that, Perloff, with both teams and franchises having 5 rings apiece in their history. But what's happening lately, like the last couple days, I think has taken this to a very fun level.
Fun. First of all, what rivalry? And I don't understand why both these teams are engaging in this tit-for-tat, back-and-forth talk after the game. It was a 42-10 game. If you're Dallas, you go and hide. I don't care who your player are. And also, if you're San Francisco, what do you care about Dallas? Like, why are they... I think the Arizona Cardinals are as big a rival as the Dallas Cowboys right now.
Oh, that's not true. I mean,
what's the rivalry?
Well, this is the team that they've met the last 2 years in the playoffs.
Right.
San Francisco has beaten them the last 2 years in the playoffs.
Right.
But both of those games have been one-score games. We just watched a blowout on Sunday night, but that's not how it's been in the postseason. It has been tight games, mostly coming down to Dallas errors, and so that adds a little bit of intrigue. But these have been close and tight games. They basically have been games decided by more field goals than touchdowns, and so I like the intrigue here. If you're not sure what we're talking about, let's get everyone up to speed. So, Pete, let's play a little sound here. Let's start us off with Micah Parsons. Now, this one was a little hard to get behind, but he said he doesn't believe there's a big gap between the Cowboys and the 49ers, despite the fact they just lost 42-10.
I don't think they really are higher level than us. I think we're the same caliber playoff team, if not the same talent standard as them. I just feel like we need to really reconsider some things, get together, and fix some things. I feel like it was a few plays away. The score don't really shape what really happened out there.
Yeah, well, it did. This is one where the numbers, I thought, did kind of tell the story, especially in the second half when the 49ers just pulled away in the third quarter. Now,
by the way, I do not consider that trash talk. That was actually a somewhat humble statement. I mean, that was not like, oh, let's stoke the rivalry. I think you're supposed to say that as a player. Hey, we feel like we're on the same level. What's Micah Parsons doing out there if he doesn't feel like he's on the same level? So I'm okay with that statement. I feel like the Cowboys, I'm not sure they're stoking the rivalry. It feels like it might be coming the other way.
Well, let's continue. Micah Parsons also, this is all courtesy of Bleacher Report, of course, because he has his own podcast, said that George Kittle, this did not make the broadcast. Kittle, after Christian McCaffrey rushed in the 4th touchdown of the night for the 49ers, of course, Kittle had 3 receiving touchdowns. He lifts up his jersey to reveal a T-shirt underneath that said, "Bleep Dallas." Okay, so here was Micah Parsons saying that Kittle will regret making this rivalry so personal.
George Kittle had 3 touchdowns on us, and he posted this thing to IG. He said, F Dallas. I just feel like he's making it way more personal than it had to be. Kittle's my guy, but I'm going to say this. Laugh now, cry later. We got something for that. Just trust. If we see them again, just trust. And we're going to put it just like that. I ain't going to put too much on it. You're going to make it personal. We can make it personal. That's cool.
All right. So, Perloff, what do you think about that? Now, that was
Okay,
up in
now-
the ante. Now you
now
see what
we're
we're
up in
talking
the
about.
ante.
Okay.
No, I mean, Micah Parsons, obviously, he's not going to back down from a challenge. But now he should just shut up and say, I'm going to prove it on the field. I'm going to get you in the playoffs. Just like he should. Here's what the right thing to say would have been. George Kittle, I see your T-shirt. I'm not going to say anything. We'll see you in the playoffs. Period. And stop.
Not laugh now, cry later. Okay, so Deebo Samuel was on with our good friend, Kay Adams, on our Up and Adams show. Said the Cowboys, they shouldn't want to face the 49ers again.
It was already personal before the game started. Now, 42-10, I don't think you want to see us again. It might be a little bit worse. I don't know what we trust. We trust, laugh now, cry later. I mean, I don't think you want to see us again.
There you go. So now you're up to speed on everything, unless something just happened in the last 5 minutes. That's basically up to speed on where things are. And listen, I know the Cowboys are coming off of what was, they said, a very humbling defeat, but I love the rivalry. I love the fact that they are stoking the flames. And if they do meet in the playoffs, this is going to be a super anticipated. It already would have been anticipated. Now it's got a little more personal and a little more personality into it.
Okay, both sides should disengage from this. San Francisco should have one goal, and that's the Super Bowl. Why they're worried about the Cowboys, who have not been a threat in the NFC since 1995, I have no idea. Obviously, the San Francisco has a major problem in Philadelphia. They played. Everyone was just calling this the game of the year last week. The Niners and the Eagles play in Philadelphia at the beginning of December. I would assume if things go well, home field will be at stake. So that's their rival.
Oh,
right
you're
now.
just upset that the Eagles have been left out of this.
No, I'm not. I just think San Francisco's bringing loser energy into this. Like, dude, you should worry about Aaron Donald and the Rams and the Eagles, the teams that beat you in the playoffs. Why are you even talking about Dallas?
Yeah, but
what is Dallas to you? They should be a mosquito on your back. This team has to win a Super Bowl. Anything but a Super Bowl victory is a bust for them. I don't understand why they're engaging with the Micah Parsons and the Cowboys.
Well, I think that Deebo can't help but take the bait.
Yeah, Deebo.
Number one, and I love him for it. Please keep taking the bait. I think it's fun. And I would say if anyone's bringing some loser energy, and that's a term that our boss, Spike Eskin, loves to use for certain athletes, I think if anyone's bringing loser energy, it's not the 49ers for engaging with the Cowboys. It's Micah Parsons for saying, oh, we just lost to you 42-10. We just got our butts kicked, but wait till next time.
Yeah, I don't like that
But wait till
either.
next time. I mean, that's a little after the fact. Like, why didn't you just show it on Sunday?
Okay, I'm afraid to say this, but because I don't want to get on Micah Parsons' bad side. I think he's an incredibly cool guy.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to sack Daniel Jones and crawl on the ground like you're the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Was he even active against San Francisco? I mean, they had an answer for him in every turn. So you got to show up on the field and slow down the talk a little bit.
Now, I feel like for Ryan Hickey's producing the show today, this has got to be a little difficult for you because Hickey, I think the only clothing he owns is Penn State branded. So we know that you love Micah Parsons. You're contractually obligated to love him. But I don't think you love him calling out the 49ers and saying, we'll get you next time.
I do love Micah Parsons, but that's pathetic. I mean, it sounds like were you not ready for the game on Sunday?
They weren't.
Dak Prescott said before the game, this means 2. Like, this win means double what a normal regular season win would be. You get smoked 42-10. Now it's, wait till the playoffs. Yeah, we'll see in the playoffs. What are you
That wasn't
about?
the real us.
Yeah, what?
We don't really hit our stride. Well, actually, that's not true. The Cowboys are definitely a regular season type team, as they've shown.
Yeah, well, they're 12-5.
They don't hit their stride in the playoffs, or at least San Francisco has stopped them. I do like the rivalry, even if Micah Parsons is bringing some loser energy to this. I do like the rivalry, and I think it's one of the best in football right now. I think only Chiefs-Bengals has like a similar type of juice just because they've met in the last 2 AFC Championship games.
Well, first of all, let me say one thing. It's nice to hear Deebo talk trash about another team and not the actual Niners for once. But, I mean, is there ever a moment where Deebo's not complaining or talking trash about something? But that's besides the point. Yeah, I don't even see the Chiefs. The Bengals heats up in the playoffs, but that's not like a week to week. I feel like those AFC North teams will kill each other on any given day.
That's true.
When I think of rivalry, it has to be divisional to me. I don't need these playoff rivalries. It's kind of like this Celtics-Lakers rivalry.
Right.
Greatest rivalry in NBA history. They went 3 times in the 80s, and everyone in their minds is like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson were playing all the time. It just didn't happen. So I feel like we're making this rivalry way bigger in our head. I think we're making the Chiefs-Bengals because the Bengals have to deal with the Steelers and the Ravens and the Browns as well. I don't know. When I think of rivalry, I feel like there's got to be division. You play twice. You hate each other. You want to take out the other guy. I don't think that's what's happening here with San Francisco Dallas. I feel like this is playing out on the mic, but not on the field.
Yeah. Is this a real rivalry? Does this feel like it has the heat? Now, since Mike McCarthy has taken over as the Dallas Cowboys head coach, 1-3 against the San Francisco 49ers. They did beat them in the regular season with your guy, Andy Dalton, when they were a pair of, I believe, 5-9 teams were meeting. So it didn't exactly have the same type of gravitas.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who thinks that these two teams are going to meet in the NFC title game. I think everybody thinks that the Niners are going to be there. But right now, I know you have the Cowboys as Super Bowl pick.
I do.
But it does feel like everybody's sort of down everyone thought the Cowboys were a real threat in the NFC, then it'd be a rivalry. But right now, after that 42-10 beatdown, I just don't see it at all. I feel like the Eagles-Niners is really the rivalry right now. It should be. I mean, listen, Brock Purdy said this thing before the game that I didn't understand. He said, oh, yeah, last year's game against the Cowboys in the playoffs was the toughest test I've had as a quarterback. I'm like, you got knocked out in 3 plays the next week against Hassan Reddick and the Eagles. So I did't totally understand that.
Well, maybe he doesn't even consider that a fair fight because he did get knocked out. He basically tore his UCL in the contest. And so, it was over. I know he went back into the game, but he couldn't even throw the ball.
Okay, and I am making this about Philly, and I apologize. But do you see Jalen Hurts talking trash about anybody? Do you see him even cracking a smile after they win?
That's because Jalen Hurts, that's just not who he is.
He's cool. He's been there before, and he acts like it. Like, I think these teams are acting, I don't know, little, as you said, loser energy going on.
On both sides.
Yeah, but I think the Niners engaging in this because they know it's going to get a lot of headlines and they seem to like the attention. And now all of a sudden every single player has a podcast, which is
which I appreciate.
Yeah, it's a lot of great content. But I don't know why the Niners are. They should just say, yeah, that was a good game and we're focused on what's ahead. Isn't that what champions say?
Well, to be fair, I mean, they haven't won it all. So
yeah, but they haven't lost to the Cowboys. If they. This week, a week 5 win over the Cowboys means nothing for this team because this is a team of every team in the NFL. If they don't win the Super Bowl this year, it's going to be a letdown. I mean, not even get to the Super Bowl. They have to win it. You're
so right about that. The expectations have changed for the 49ers, I think, quite a bit because before it was like, well, Brock Purdy, let's see if he's real. Let's see how he can respond from an elbow injury. It's like we didn't really know this guy unless you're a diehard, Iowa State fan. You didn't really know who he was. He gets thrown into the fire. It's a great story, but he has this great team around him. So it's like, was it Purdy? Is it the team? Then he's got to come back from a massive injury, and the dude still has never lost a game that he wasn't brutally injured in. This feels so real that you're right. It's absolutely Super Bowl or bust for them. It has been since they won that first game in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so this Cowboys rivalry, they should really be focused on the Eagles. Because the Eagles are quietly 5-0. They want that game in San Francisco. If they get home field advantage in playoffs, you saw the game on Sunday night. Is anyone going into that stadium on that grass and winning? No.
It's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard. They just got to stay healthy, focus. Don't get distracted by those Cowboys and Stephen A. Smith and the headlines and all that. There's so much hoopla that comes with a Cowboys game, and this is just an example. If I'm the Niners, don't get brought into that. And for our guy, Micah Parsons, you're a Micah Parsons fan. I see you wearing Cowboys blue today.
Yeah, I mean, that was not actually intentional. We're getting dressed now in the middle of the night. Like, I can't put any kind of thought into my outfits anymore.
What would you say to Micah Parsons if he asked you, Maggie, how should I play this?
Yeah, I'd be like, not the way you did. Not that way. But I like the fact that he wants to speak his mind. I like the fact that this is a bit of a rivalry and that, it's getting a little personal on both sides. I'm trying to think what the poll question is for today. I think it's more, is this loser energy from the 49ers to even engage? I mean, is this loser energy on both sides? Or do you love it? Because I love it.
I think a better question, well, that is a good question, but also, is this the best rivalry in the NFL right now? What's the best rivalry? And you could put up this one. You could put up the Chiefs and the Bengals.
Yeah.
What about the division one?
Ravens, I think, is always good, but that game was like, it's always 14-10 or whatever.
I feel like Bengals Ravens is good because they played 3 times last year. Good. Put Bengals Ravens on there. Is there any other Cowboys Eagles? Is that not feel quite there? It feels like the Cowboys have forgotten about the Eagles.
Yeah, no, the Cowboys clearly are more focused on the 49ers.
Yeah, for whatever reason. But, wait till Eagles week. Anytime the Cowboys play anybody, it's the game of the week. So I feel like they'll turn their focus to the Eagles.
Sean Payton v. Nathaniel Hackett. It's a little more in the weeds. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. Okay, A lot more to get to. Aaron Rodgers versus Kelsey. That one's shaping up pretty nicely. We'll get to Aaron Rodgers a little bit later on.
That might be. You should actually put that on the poll. Maybe we shouldn't put that on the poll. Do we want that energy in the poll?
Yeah. It looks like there could be, this one could bleed off the field quite a bit. Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee yesterday saying he wants to debate Travis Kelce and Anthony Fauci with him and John F. Kennedy Jr.
Robert.
Robert.
Yeah.
RFK Jr. Yes,
Yeah.
JFK. That'd be a hell of a debate. That'd be tough.
Okay. Didn't expect to go there.
Do you remember when there was those rumors that people thought that JFK was coming back from the dead? You remember this, right? And people
Sort of.
showed up at a rally in Dallas thinking that JFK was not actually dead. It was a conspiracy theory. That
Wait, the younger JFK who died in a plane
Yes, John F.
crash.
Kennedy Jr.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't, again, this poll has gotten strange.
Yes. So that's what was going on with Rodgers and McAfee yesterday.
Yeah. All
A
right.
couple
So
other things too.
best rivalry in the NFL. Should we?
Rodgers versus
Can we get the
Kelce.
Swifties in here somewhere?
or Cowboys versus 49ers. Honestly, it's 50-50. That's a really tough one. 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. Man, just leave Anthony Fauci alone. Like, can this guy, he doesn't even work for the government anymore. Can we just let it go with him?
Okay, you can let him go be, what if Rodgers call him a pharmacrat?
He did. I never heard that term before. 855-212-4CBS. So much to do today. Geez. It is Wednesday, which means the Great Debate Series continues. Our series of just big-time sports debates. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the show. Hint, hint, has to do with the greatest sports anthems. So do that a little bit later. We want to hear from you. 49ers, Cowboys, is it a real rivalry? Again, 855-212-4227. Maggie and Perloff just getting started here on this Wednesday, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. 2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. "45 seconds remaining. "30 seconds remaining. "15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff. So we did this thing on the show where Maggie went to a college that did not have a college football team, so she got to pick a college football team.
I picked Oregon, by the way. And I'm feeling really good about it.
Yeah, no, it was a good year to pick Oregon. Well, we'll see this Saturday. We'll get into that later in the week. So I'm a Flyers fan, traditionally, Philadelphia Flyers in the NHL, but I'm thinking of buying a Blackhawks sweater. Just going for it.
This is so Perloff.
Yeah.
This is, you already have a team. You're just always looking for the better opportunity. You're a bandwagoner.
Well, the Flyers are a little down, and I haven't watched a full regular season hockey game in a long time. Connor Bedard made his debut for the Blackhawks, 18-year-old phenom.
Yep.
You could just tell, he's not huge, but you could tell, oh my God, that guy is moving differently. And he had he didn't score, but he had a very successful debut, had an assist, got a ton of shots on goal. I'm wondering, is this the star that the NHL was promised? They still have not, they haven't really had an heir to the Gretzky Lemieux kind of thing yet.
I think Crosby and Ovechkin did a nice job with it. I mean,
I don't think
it's
so.
a great debate about
Crosby
who's
was out
better.
there. Yeah, but they need a singular starter. Crosby really lifted the game. I mean, I think his health issues got in the way.
All the concussions, I mean, that's bad. Ovechkin, I think, is a great personality, in the game, kind of playing the villain and the foil a little bit to Crosby. Like, I don't know. I think they deserve some credit. The thing about Bedard is if he's really going to cross over, like, because Connor McDavid and Jack Eichel, and there's been these other guys who are really, really amazing players, but they haven't, like, crossed over. They got to go the Kelsey route here. You got to get a famous girlfriend, number one. You have got to use the celebrity part of this to pull in the other fan base. Like, you got to become more cultural. Like, I'm watching I'm looking at page 6 yesterday in the New York Post. Apparently, Kelsey and Swift were, like, spending his birthday together or something before the Minnesota game.
So you think that
get a different audience has got to know about these people.
Yeah, so you think that dating a celebrity is better than winning the Stanley Cup for these guys?
Listen,
because I don't think Wayne Gretzky got famous because he was dating Janet Jones. I think it's because he won about 1 million Stanley Cups and set every single record in NHL history.
Okay, but also when Gretzky was playing, there was like 4 things to watch on TV, and hockey was one of them, and everyone was into hockey. Also, NHL 94, I think, really did help hockey, the video game. You got to do something that culturally crosses over. Like, you win a Stanley Cup, you already got the hockey fans. If you want to cross over, you got to get the other people to start paying attention. That's why you call it a crossover star.
I think the key for this is he's got to win a title, or Connor McDavid. They need Connor McDavid probably in a different city. But I think you need to win a lot of titles. You need to look at the sport like you look at the NBA and you say, who is the face of the NBA? LeBron.
Right.
One name. You look at the NBA before that, it was Michael Jordan.
Sure.
You need one guy to just be the guy. And I think that's probably part of the problem with Crosby and Ovechkin. There wasn't one guy. Now, I don't know if Bedard's going to be that guy, but I was into it last night. The other thing, though, he is so young. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? This little guy, this little kid, he should be in high school.
He's going to be the biggest star in the NHL.
Why is he out there skating with these real men? And also the other thing, too, is NHL, its new partnership with ESPN. I bought the hype. I mean, I'll bet they had Jack Eichel on at halftime in the Monday Night Football game. I'm like, all right, I'm in. Being on ESPN is so huge for NHL. That is the most important factor. I think they went away because ESPN didn't cover them for a long time. So I think it's going to be a good time for the NHL. They need Bedard to win the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you on how you get famous as a hockey player. You get hockey famous by being great and winning cups. You get famous by doing something outside of your sport. Like, you know, it's just a fact. Like, you'll get more famous if he starts dating Olivia Rodrigo than he is if he wins 2 Stanley Cups. Thank you, Andrew Bogusch, giving me a nod of approval.
Right, but the NHL needs one guy to lift the entire league. I don't know if Connor Bedard dating Olivia Rodrigo.
It's a good start.
It's good, but
guys, this is PR 101. I mean, come on. This is not even. This is the obvious playbook. It's not even next level.
I mean, Crosby won 3 Stanley Cups.
3.
So, like, winning is not going to just do. Ovechkin might
How
break
many
Wayne
years
Gretzky's
How many years
record.
were those 3 cups?
So they were a lot. 2 were back-to-back or 2 in 3 years, and then they tacked on another one. But that's probably like 6 years ago now. So, I mean, they got spread out, but he won 3 cups.
Do you honestly think his career is played out like Wayne Gretzky's? Obviously not.
Well, that's an unfair comparison.
Well, that
means everybody that's not Jordan sucks in the NBA.
Well, the NBA had a big problem. When Jordan left the game, there was a huge vacuum, and they got really lucky that LeBron James stepped into that.
Listen,
I think the NHL needs a singular star, and I don't think dating Olivia Rodrigo is going to do it. I think you need multiple Stanley Cups.
It will help, but think about it. You and I listen, it's a little fictionalized, but they put a whole movie with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon about Jordan signing a sneaker deal, right?
Right.
Jordan's brilliance was above reproach. But the marketing aspect of Michael Jordan clearly helped because people are still wearing his shoes and he hasn't suited up since the early 2000s.
Right, but if he didn't actually have the human ability to fly, none of that would have mattered.
No, I get that, but he
won 6 titles in 6 seasons.
I know, but even he, with all that success and the ability to fly, also benefited from a machine behind him, a marketing machine. Like, you're a hockey player, you need something more than just being good at hockey.
But that marketing machine wouldn't have mattered if he couldn't have won the title. I think it would have. It would have been 50% of what it is.
They went beautifully together. It was a marriage made
I
in
think
heaven.
the title comes first. I think you have to win. You have to be in the finals on TV in front of everybody. There have been hockey players who've dated famous women that have not lifted the sport. I assume. I don't know. I'm going old school. Ron Gresham, Carol Hall.
Yeah. So I had the Crosby Cups reversed. He won one in 2009, then 16-17. I thought the back-to-back was first. So they're spread out, but there's 3.
That's not Michael Jordan, 6 in 6 years.
No, but it's 3 Stanley Cups. You want him to win cups. You won 3 of them.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot.
It doesn't, I think this is hockey's problem. It doesn't matter. Like, it just, I don't know.
Well, it matters for hockey people. I'm just saying for crossover stardom. The cups is one thing. It definitely doesn't hurt, but you're talking about, if you want to be face of the sport, like, I think you need to have a little something more to your story.
And that's where I was going. The winning doesn't matter outside of hockey.
Right.
You need the other stuff. I mean, even Ovechkin, it's theoretically possible he's going to break Wayne Gretzky's goal record, and the country is not going to stop like it did with home run records. We didn't care that much about LeBron passing Kareem, but people were at least tracking that. I don't think there's going to be these.
I think people cared about that.
But not to the extent of
no.
the home run,
Right.
any home run chase.
Yes.
And there's not going to be any dramatic countdowns to Ovechkin getting to Gretzky. But even that's not going to matter for Ovechkin. But if he was married to Anna Kournikova, we would know far more about him.
Isn't there a hockey player married? I thought Anna Kournikova, who's married to a hockey player. There's a lot of hockey players who are married to famous women. I don't think they're huge mainstream stars. Are they?
I know, but see, that's the thing. You need that instant recognition.
Yes.
Like, we don't even have to think about it. Anna Kournikovas married to Enrique Iglesias. Guys,
Right.
come on. We
And,
did this last week in our great debate series of famous couples.
Oh, so who are there were a bunch of hockey players with famous women in that debate.
Carrie
too.
Underwood has a famous hockey
Mike
husband.
Fisher.
Yeah.
And we know that Bogusch has a thing for Alicia Cuthbert.
So
Dion Phaneuf.
I'm talking about like Ken Griffey level players and A-Rod and Barry Bonds and Patrick Mahomes and just singular athletes who are going to just change the sport forever. You're not going to do that by dating a pop star. None of that is really going to matter. That's what I'm talking about. Like the expectation, not just to be a personal star. I mean, to lift the entire sport where everyone's like, oh my God, he's on TV. We got to go watch it. I don't know. I don't think dating someone famous will do that.
But Connor McDavid's already doing that, and no one's watching because he plays in Edmonton.
But is he really doing that?
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
I think
By the way, has he won?
Is he what?
Has he won?
No. But
Well,
even
that's
if
what he needs.
But if he wins, he's not going to host SNL. He'll host SNL if he's Olivia Rodrigo's boyfriend.
Yeah. I mean, or something. I just threw that out there. But yes, it's like, it's got to be one other thing. I think it's got to be the hockey.
Jordan didn't have that. Gretzky didn't have that.
But he didn't play hockey.
Yeah.
Well, Gretzky did.
But,
I'm saying
Gretzky was different because it was a different time, and and he was Gretzky. McDavid's not Gretzky, but he's a generational player right now, and it doesn't matter because he can't get out of the hockey world.
Yeah,
he needs the other thing.
Kind of needs to get to America, maybe.
I don't know. If he was a Ranger, I don't know if it would change that much either.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that, right? It's like, I kind of want to see this happen just so that we get another crossover situation.
Don't you guys want to actually watch him? Like, this is kind of weak, guys. I think like, Connor Bedard, like he's an 18-year-old phenom. Don't you want to see what he can do different in the sport? Not who he can date. This is insane.
Yeah, I know, but this is the thing. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in the NHL. Absolutely. But I see a lot of talented guys in the NHL. He's not the only one.
No, but he's got to be different. That's what I'm saying. He's got to be more talented than even the most. He's got to be better than McDavid even.
Right, but we've had 4 guys that you're asking for have existed in the last 2 decades, and none of them have crossed over. So that's why we're at me and Maggie are at the point where you need something other than hockey.
Let's get everyone's attention in a different way.
Yeah,
David
he's got to be better than He's got to be better than Crosby and Ovechkin. I mean,
I don't think that would matter either.
He's played 1 game.
How many?
You got to be better than Crosby and Ovechkin together.
Ovechkin's been playing since 1974, and he's won 1 Stanley Cup.
Yeah, it was a big one though.
It's not a big one. I'm saying Wayne Gretzky won 4 in 6 years. It was amazing.
Ovechkin's cup is kind of like Kevin Garnett's title or
Just like
Dirk Nowitzki's title. Like it's just one, but it means a lot.
Right, but it's not in the same. It's not even in the conversation with what Edmonton did with Messier and Gretzky. Like they need
that was
something
a dynasty.
That's what hockey needs. They need a championship run like Jordan. Like some
but the
team
Blackhawks had like a mini dynasty going not that long ago.
And the Bruins too.
But it's a mini dynasty. I mean, they need a superstar leading a singular dynasty in sports. Like they got to go for like a Michael Jordan and maybe a LeBron thing.
I still think the flaw in your argument is thinking hockey is on par with those other sports. That it can just exist on its own hockey success, and it can't.
No, but hockey they need one guy. They need one star. They have not had that really. I mean, Crosby, in my mind, really was not that guy.
See, that's right.
Yeah, and I thought it was great because Crosby and Ovechkin did have the rivalry.
Right. Yeah. But that's 2.
But rivalries help sports just like Magic and Bird help the NBA.
Right, and it was perfect because you could have done all of the silly, ignorant, like North America versus Russia. There were all these storylines built in, and it was great for hockey, but the rest of the public didn't care. Partly because Crosby, too, is a little Mike Troutish, where he doesn't have a huge personality and didn't want to be out there. That didn't help either, but he was the guy. He's the singular guy you were asking for, and it didn't work because he was just a hockey player.
Yeah. All right, I think we've thoroughly gotten to the bottom of that conversation. Let's do some headlines with Andrew Bogusch.
And they're all sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. The Baltimore Orioles won 101 games, were never swept during the regular season, and then got swept, taking a 3-game loss from the Rangers in their ALDS. Game 3 in Arlington last night was over pretty quickly.
And the 1-2 pitch. And that ball is lifted high into the air, deep left field. Hayes is going back onto the track. He looks up. It is gone.
Wow.
Adolis Garcia will touch them all. His 3-run blast has given Texas a 6-0 lead.
In the bottom of the second inning, as heard on Rangers radio.
Did he fall off the chair or something? What was
I don't
going
know,
on
but
in the booth?
Is that a cannon?
I did see a video coming in this morning. Somebody was filming the at-bat, and the home run ball came to him in the outfield. So you're watching it all the way arcing, and then it comes right to the dude's right shoulder. His phone drops. There's all this commotion for the ball. I don't know if that clearly was not what we were hearing, but it could have been, because that dude in left field almost took that ball in the face.
That is wild. Never swept in a series, get to the playoffs, boom, swept.
Yeah.
And the Rangers, remember, it was such a disappointment because they lost the AL West on the last game of the season, and then boom, they sweep the Rays, sweep the Rangers, sweep the Orioles. Good night now.
A 7-1 win for Texas last night. Nathan Eovaldi, K7 over 7. It was a great ride with a bad ending, says Baltimore skipper Brandon Hyde.
We're supposed to win 76 games, won 101, won the American League East. Really proud of our group. They defied all the odds. Nobody gave us a chance. These guys played their butts off for 6 months. We just didn't play well for these last 3, unfortunately.
And now the Rangers maybe face their friends from Houston in the ALCS. The Astros a 2-1 lead on the Twins after a 9-1 win in Minneapolis. Christian Javier threw 5 scoreless after a rocky beginning that had Dusty Baker thinking about a pitching change.
You can smell when I'm about to take him out.
Javier settled down after getting that whiff. K'd 9, erasing 5 walks, 1 hit. Game 4, 7 Eastern tonight, sandwiched between Game 3 for the Braves and Phillies and the Dodgers and Diamondbacks. It took 4 minutes and 33 seconds for Dylan Brooks to get tossed. For the first time as a Rocket, he was shown the door in his preseason debut for hitting Indiana's Daniel Tice in the groin as Tice set a screen. Shockingly, Brooks pleading innocent, blaming his reputation.
What's my name? My name is Dylan the Dylan, so I guess.
The Rockets won the game.
I mean, he uppercutted him right.
Yeah.
I mean, he went right between.
Yeah.
Right between the legs.
Might not have been the most vicious act, but he certainly could have had more control of his limbs as he was going around this dude.
Seemed wildly avoidable.
Yeah, easily avoidable for sure.
Just nuts.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. No pun intended. I think I can't tell if there's more groin shots these days. You guys would know better than I would in basketball.
Well, Grayson Allen, right, was the
Grayson
guy.
Allen, between Draymond, Grayson Allen, Dylan Brooks. I mean, you got a lot of guys.
A little while ago. Grayson, I actually heard him in a press conference say, I don't do that anymore. The fact that you had to say that.
Anymore. Guys, I've quit.
And Draymond was
what a man.
Draymond was 7 years ago. Honestly, sometimes in football that happens. Like it happened the other day, right?
That's the Mac Jones.
Yeah, honestly.
Mac Jones is like one of those every 6 weeks.
That's why it was ridiculous to me, because you are taking hits that could sort of put you in the hospital. Who cares? A little flick? That's not that bad. I mean, I'm speaking for myself.
I just thought it was like a code, a guy code.
Yeah, you can do it on a football field, but basketball, I guess, a little tough. What team is Dylan Brooks on again?
He's on the Rockets.
What the heck? That does not make any sense to me.
Enforcer? I'm not sure.
Travis Kelce put in a limited practice with the Chiefs yesterday ahead of tomorrow's game with the Broncos. Cardinals running back James Conner's on IR with a knee injury, and the Falcons trading for Rams receiver Van Jefferson. No more targets left for him because of Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, and of course the return of Cooper Kupp. There is still no timeline for Juwan Howard to return to Michigan basketball. The head coach had heart surgery last month. And yes, it was opening night in the NHL. The aforementioned Connor Bedard, an assist in his first game. Chicago rallying for a 4-2 win in Pittsburgh. And the Golden Knights raised their Stanley Cup banner, then beat the Kraken 4-1. Guys, back to you.
Andrew Bogish, thank you. Yes.
I got a candidate for face of the sport.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, I've decided what the most important factor is.
Okay.
It is not necessarily championships, so those are huge. It's not necessarily girlfriends, so those can help. Zion Williamson, because to have one name is a huge thing. Just to call somebody Zion.
You do need a nickname.
If Zion could somehow stay healthy and put together 9 All-Star seasons, just that one name, Zion, Jordan, LeBron.
I know Michael Jordan, like in a vacuum, is like one of the more boring names of all time. It's like he might as well be Mike Smith. It's just because he's Michael Jordan.
But just Jordan, though. You could say Jordan. You could say LeBron. Yeah, Zion's a good name. LeBron's a good name.
LeBron's good. Zion, you're going to remember it forever.
I don't know if Connor McDavid or... What's
that?
Giannis.
Yep.
Giannis, right. I don't know if Connor McDavid and Connor Bedard quite do it yet. They need like a singular nickname.
You didn't like Sid the Kid or Ovi?
Nah, Ovi, no. You got to go like soccer, right? Where you go one name, like Neymar or something. I think that is the key to be the face of the sport is one name, like Perloff.
That's funny. I was just going to say that. Like Perloff. It just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, so I think
Wemby?
There's Wemby, like maybe Wemby. That could be a face of a sport. They need to, first of all, somebody in sports. We need a new young superstar. Maybe that's why I was watching Connor Bedard last night. We need somebody new. I'm getting bored with the guys we have.
We have like all these quarterbacks who are like 25 and under. You're already bored with these guys?
I don't know. Are they as good as Mahomes, though?
I don't know. Let's go. Jeff in Minnesota wants to talk about Justin Fields. Speaking of one of those young guys. Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
I am doing great, and I'm kind of depressed. I think the Vikings are going to get the game stolen from them on Friday because it looks like Chicago took the chains off Fields and they released the Kraken. So I'm telling you, I think there's going to be a lot of 911 calls on Sunday and for theft, man, because I think Chicago's going to steal the game.
Yeah, but is that good or bad, Jeff? I mean, the tank talk in Minnesota seems to be pretty prevalent.
We're done. We're done up there.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, JJ doesn't look like he's going to be playing Sunday, and if he is, he's not going to be 100%.
No, he's out.
He's definitely out for the next month, Jeff, but thank you for the call. Could the Bears beat the Vikings? Now, even without Justin Jefferson and everyone talking about how the Vikings should just pack it in this season, trade Kirk Cousins, trade off everything, Minnesota is still favored on the road against the Bears by 2.5 points.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings GM ran down to the field and actually ran onto the field to get a penalty to keep the Vikings from winning. This is a huge loss for the Vikings. If they're
pull a Mike Tomlin, remember when he was on the sideline and tripped the guy for the Ravens?
Yeah, the Vikings they cannot afford to win this game. That would be a disaster.
Can't afford to win the game
because they're
must
in
lose.
Strong competition with the Bears. We're 1-4 and 1-4. They're fighting for the number one pick here, Maggie. This is a huge game. This might be the game of the weekend.
855. Did he say that was going to happen on a Friday? It's not happening.
That confused me.
Yeah. There was something going on with that call.
By the way, Deion plays on Friday, right?
Yes.
So Friday is an actual football day this week. So in my mind, I'm like, wait, I actually looked at the schedule. I was like, did the Vikings play on Friday this week?
The NFL is crazy. It's like they're playing on Friday in Portugal. It's like, wow, I wouldn't put it past the NFL. Need that Portugal market. 855-212-4CBS. So much to do, including separating a little fact from fiction when it comes to the AFC. We'll get to that in a moment. Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
I mean, you can sell a lot of.
You're in a 5-minute break.
We are live right at the Rose Bowl where no big deal. Penn State demolished, dominated, controlled number 8 Utah in an absolute dominant victory. So let me just tell you this, folks, for the future, 2023. Look out for the Nets. They dominated with Sean Clifford, 6-year quarterback, no big deal. They got Drew coming in, 2 freshman running backs, dominant. We'll see you next year. We'll see you in the playoff. We are live right at the Rose Bowl where no big deal. Penn State demolished, dominated, controlled number 8 Utah in an absolute dominant victory. So let me just tell you this, folks, for the future, 2023. Look out for the Nets. They dominated with Sean Clifford, 6-year quarterback, no big deal. They got Drew coming in, 2 freshman running backs, dominant. We'll see you next year. We'll see you in the playoff. We are live right at the Rose Bowl where no big deal. Penn State demolished, dominated, controlled number 8 Utah in an absolute dominant victory. So let me just tell you this, folks.
Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining.
Top 10 moments from Andrew Perloff's Skyline Chili Bet Payoff. Number 10.
With the cheese, he is very delicately breaking the film.
Number 9.
There is juice cascading off his nose.
It's good.
Number 8.
All the way in. Oh, we have spaghetti. He has found the pasta.
Number 7.
Big bite. Oh, that's a lot of pasta.
You're really getting in there.
Number 6.
Why I didn't.
There we go. Slurping sound.
Good slurping.
Number 5.
Oh.
Number 4.
Oh my God.
That was a full open mouth tongue scoop of pasta. This
Number
is
3.
friendship. Oh, it's like he's a 4-year-old.
Number 2.
A bowl of chili anymore. Oh, our first rip of pasta.
And the number 1 moment from Andrew Perloff's Skyline Chili Bet Payoff.
Noises as we gobble up. Oh, now it's over.
One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff. We get into our great debate series at the top of the hour. We're doing best sports anthems of all time. Perloff and I have our thoughts. Get yours as well. When there's good sound and there's coaches going back and forth with the media, it's like catnip for us. Just have to play it. Who does Penn State play this weekend, Ryan?
Oh, big one. It is UMass.
Oh, this is UMass.
The Minutemen.
This is big. We have someone who we work with here, Dave Marinick, who's been fading UMass for the last 2.5 years.
Victor Cruz cost him some bucks back in the day.
Meanwhile, Marinick must be a low-key millionaire. Okay, so Penn State against UMass, not exactly the barn burner of Saturday, October 21st, when Penn State goes to Ohio State. That one's going to be a little bit bigger. But anyway, James Franklin, here's how it starts. We got to play this in 2 clips. Here's the beginning of him getting asked a question by a reporter about why they're not taking more shots down the field.
Is there a balance, though, between, hey, we need you to throw the ball deep no matter, just take a shot. Don't overthink it. Take a shot. We need to see it. We're going to call it. And we need you to get some confidence in doing this, as opposed to even giving a young quarterback the chance to say, hey, just check it down if it's not there.
I don't really understand what you're saying, because we would never, like my skin is curling when you say just drop back and chuck it deep no matter what. Like that is like, I don't even know what you're saying.
That was just the beginning of this. The reporter again tried to clarify. It didn't go well.
Take the shot, even if he might be covered 30 yards down the field, maybe you think he'll be open 45 yards down the field.
Like, I still don't, like, you're speaking Japanese. Like, we have never done that. Just throw the ball up and maybe he'll be open and maybe he'll catch. Like, my skin is like, like you're making me uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. So no, strong no.
Oh boy.
So good. But here's the funny thing, because you look on the surface here and you're wondering, why would James Franklin be getting questions like this? Here are the scores of the Penn State Nittany Lions games. 38 points against West Virginia, 63 against Delaware. They really laid it on. 30-13 against Illinois, 31-0 against Iowa, and 41-13 against Northwestern. Like,
see, I totally get this question, and it's a valid question. Ryan, you can back me as a Penn State. They have the future number 1 overall pick in the NFL, and they are turning him into, I don't even know what, like a backup quarterback. Like because I watched Drew Aller, and I think I put a future on his Heisman.
Yeah.
And they're not using him at all. So I think that's what the question was, right? Like, he's not throwing the football.
They do not throw the ball more than like 10 yards on the field. There's no explosion.
Yeah, and
they
by the way,
don't need to, guys. They just came off a game where they won 41-13. How could you nitpick the offense right now?
Well, he looked flat out bad against Illinois. That Illinois defensive, like I watched that whole game. Like I'm like this, they're killing his future, Drew Aller.
They won 30-13. That wasn't even close.
I think they almost had to pull Aller in that game. Like,
okay, but I'm just saying.
Like, that game was pretty close too.
Okay, but then they pulled away. It was 23-7 going into the fourth quarter. Okay, maybe a little closer than you'd like for a college football score, but they still had the game in hand.
But I'm just saying. It is a valid question. James Franklin, Ryan, you answer this. Like, I do feel like he's got to be under the spotlight. Like, he's got to win this year. And it does seem like the offense is not moving forward. It's moving backward. That's what this guy, he just worded it the wrong way.
Yeah, right. I mean, I get wanting to get explosive plays, but I also understand James Franklin being like, I mean, is this not enough? We are winning quite comfortably here. And that game against Illinois is on the road. It's the third week of the season. You're still figuring stuff out. And again, they won easily.
Yeah,
Ryan,
but
you're like wincing about this.
I mean, come on, Ryan. Do you honestly feel good heading into that Ohio State game?
I do, because Ohio State's offense has looked worse, I think. So there's some optimism, but they've not. Yeah, the Drew Eller's like first pass thing ever. Maybe it was like that 75-yard touchdown, like off one foot. It was beautiful. They've not thrown the ball deep since. I will say, James Franklin. I like James Franklin. I'm a defender. Kind of a hardo.
So you think this is unfair to say that to the reporter?
No. I just think he knew what he was like. I think he reacted that way a little bit on purpose.
Yeah, right.
Like, you could have just said like, "Oh no, we don't really force it ever. We just tell Drew, throw what you see."
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. I mean, we cut it down. That was like 2 minutes basically where he kind of, I think, knew what he would like.
Oh,
kind
definitely.
of played it up.
No.
That's a little
no.
He's trying
strong. No.
He's trying to show people because listen. Maybe he's a little sensitive to this because. Maybe he's seeing, Allard's throwing for 190 yards, which is like nothing for a quarterback and in a game, and maybe he's feeling a little sensitive, so he's got to overcompensate.
That would make sense. Like, why would he be so sensitive? I got to tell you the other thing, too, is Drew Allard does not look the same. Like, I came into Ryan and I'm like, oh, my God, there's the number 1 pick. I don't think he's that already 5 games in. I'm like, ooh, I don't know anymore. What do you think? Is he playing up to his hype?
No. I don't know how much is him, but the receivers are not very good. But no, it started off hot.
No,
strong no, like James said.
Is James Franklin a good coach? I've always kind of wondered that too. I know he can recruit.
No.
I know he can recruit, and I know he gets into some trouble. But I can't figure him out at all. Would he be a candidate to take over for Saban? Like, is he gonna? If he ever wanted to move on, would he be like a top level guy?
No.
I think that depends. Does Saban want the person who follows him to have any shot of showing him up? If he does, then probably not James Franklin. If he wants the next guy to come in and not be as good as what Saban was doing, then maybe James Franklin is a great choice, Like,
wait, what are you saying?
If Saban doesn't want to be upstaged by his heir,
then he would take James Franklin.
If he doesn't want to be upstaged, he'll take James
are you kidding me? If James Franklin got a hold of the Alabama recruiting machine, James Franklin brings people into State College, Pennsylvania. Oh, he would destroy the recruiting trail in Alabama.
You're asking if he's a good X's and O's coach. Like,
I think he's fine as an X's and O coach. I think he's a recruiting machine, and I think he would kill it in Alabama. I mean, I think that's undoubtable. Like, he's Because he was good. What was it, Vanderbilt, right?
Yeah, Vandy.
Like, he made them competitive. Can you imagine if he got a hold of a major program? And Penn State is that major program.
Definitely.
But so that's my question. Like, he's built a great team. Like, they're top 10, but there seems to be something missing, and it might be the X's and O's.
I don't know. I always thought he was a good coach, but I think there was just like a little bit of a miss with the Sean Clifford stuff. He was so, and I know he ended up getting drafted, so good for him. But I think there was like a.
What do you mean?
Well, was there like a thought that maybe he stayed a little too loyal to Clifford, even when you had Will Levis sitting behind him, and then Levis goes to Kentucky that first year and is awesome.
Yeah, now we.
And now we see Will Levis. But listen, Will Levis got drafted in the second round.
Well, the fact that Clifford earned the backup spot makes me think that maybe Clifford was better than we thought. I mean, Justin Fields was there too. He was signed. He was supposed to be the quarterback, and he left. So we'll see. Yeah, that was mean though. I don't like when reporters get yelled at. We got to defend them, Maggie. You're speaking Japanese.
212-4CBS. No. Coming up, great debate series. This is something we do on Wednesdays. Greatest sports anthems coming your way next. Don't move. Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
I don't even know what you're saying.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
I don't really understand.
4 minutes remaining.
I don't even know.
3 minutes, 30 seconds
I don't
remaining.
know what you're saying.
Three minutes remaining.
No.
2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. 1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining.
One thing I want you to do for me.
What?
Come here.
15 seconds.
Eat the chili. No hands.
What are we waiting for? Take this!
Sports Radio.
Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. It is Wednesday, and around here on Wednesdays, we do something called the Great Debate Series. Started off in the summer. Perloff and I just had a lot of things we didn't agree on when it came to sports and pop culture, and so we've continued it. Last week was best sports couples, athlete, non-athlete, after Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. We had a lot of great nominees. Today, we turn our attention to sports anthems, and the reason why is because we were surprised that any team in this day and age would use a song by Creed as the pump-up music. That's what Andrew Haney said. That's what's going on with Texas Rangers, right? It's the Rangers?
Yeah, Rangers are the new Creed band.
The new
team.
Creed lovers are the Texas Rangers, and to be honest, it's working for them because they swept the Orioles last night. So I guess whatever gets you through the day. But we started thinking about great songs that are associated with teams or great sports anthems, and we got a lot of great options. But to me, one stands above the rest.
There's so many good ones. You have one that stands out.
Yes, and I'm not going to go, and we don't have to play all of these people. We have them ready to go. But I think some of the famous ones that we, just for the moment, New York, New York, associated with the New York Yankees. We know Sweet Caroline is associated with the Boston Red Sox. Renegade by Styx is associated with the Pittsburgh Steelers. To me, there is one that stands above the rest. And that is the Chicago Bulls dynasty being paired with the song Sirius by the Alan Parsons Project. Nothing better.
I could rip this sweatshirt I'm wearing off right now and go out and give you a solid 26 minutes.
Makes me want to set a pick.
I'll be in the Jim Paxson role or the Steve Kerr role.
I know, Perloff.
I'm open, Michael.
Sharpshooter.
I'm open, Michael. I'll take that last second shot when you're triple teamed.
Yeah, he sees you.
That is an amazing one. Did you see they played it for Michael Jordan at the Bahamas the other day or somewhere?
Did. And
that was great.
Michael Jordan's wife was even getting into it. I forgot her name, Yvette. She was getting into it all these years later. I think the Alan Parsons Project, who I had never heard of before, I know none of their other songs. I could pass Alan Parsons on the street. I have no idea who he is.
I don't think there's a lead singer named Alan Parsons.
I have no idea.
We got to look at that. I think Alan Parsons Project does not have an Alan Parsons in it. That's just a guess, but
This is how little I know about this band.
Well, I think they were 20 years before you were born.
But so are the Beatles, and that's really not an excuse. I still know who they are.
Okay.
Try to top it, Perloff. You can't.
Maybe you think I couldn't because that's a good one. But this is obviously a local choice for me growing up in Philadelphia, but I think it's universal. When this song comes on, just you have to do push-ups. It's the one song
one-handed push-ups
ever that you have to do push-ups. You have to drink raw eggs out of a cup. You have to train. This is the Rocky theme.
What are we waiting for? Take this!
All right, Bilotti, get on the floor. Let's see 20 push-ups. This is
only the silhouette with, when Sylvester Stallone does the one-handed push-ups.
Oh, I know. It's amazing. But obviously,
on the top of a mountain.
this is a cheat code for the Philadelphia Eagles. The tush push and the Rocky theme, it comes on in the third quarter, and if it's a close game, it's over. If you want to live bet an Eagles game, the second that theme comes on, the odds change. Because the Eagles, nobody's going to lose when that song is playing for your team.
Okay, see, this is why I think mine tops yours.
Why?
That's one of the Rocky themes. But to me, the Rocky theme is actually Survivor.
Eye of the Tiger?
Eye of the Tiger is the Rocky theme. You guys love the take this, Mick.
Yeah.
I think that it's Eye of the Tiger, and more people think about Eye of the Tiger with Rocky than that.
I think you're crazy.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
As an outsider, as someone who's not totally indoctrinated with all things Philadelphia.
But Philadelphia, Rocky won the Oscar for Best Picture. It's one of the most famous movies of all time. And play the Rocky theme and Eye of the Tiger comes on. Eye of the Tiger is amazing. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
I will run a marathon after hearing Eye of the Tiger.
Do we have I don't know if we asked for Eye of the Tiger. It's the one we didn't ask for. We do have it. This is the Rocky theme to me. This is when you live bet Philadelphia sports.
No. You can play this anywhere. First of all, this is Rocky 3.
I thought, was it 2 or 3? It must be 3.
It's 3. So Rocky starts going out to L.A., and then he goes to Russia. It's no longer Philadelphia. This is a national Rocky song. It's not. Yeah, this is.
It's so much better.
No way.
Yes. This one,
you
will set a personal record. You will do things and push your body to limits you have never pushed it before with this song, not with your song.
You're the only person that I know that likes sequels better than the original movies for every movie.
I'm a product of the 80s.
Wait, so if I put a poll up, which is your best Rocky movie? You'd have 3 and 4 would be your only choices, right?
I think 4 is the best.
Yeah.
I know. Listen,
okay, move on.
I'm a product of the Cold War. This is what happens when you fight the Russians.
If yous can change, we can change.
Of course.
If I could change, yeah.
I'm the unsilent majority, big mouth. That's my fair line, Lambo.
All right.
It's science. Whatever he hits, he destroys.
Yes. And of course, if he dies, he dies. Now, I had a close second. Clearly, you guys might sense a theme. I like something a little more poppy. It doesn't have to be Metallica to me to be a pump-up song, right? You can do something a little lighter. And that's why when the St. Louis Blues really grabbed on to this song, it just created a whole different vibe. It deserves to be on this list. Here's Gloria. You're not expecting it, but man, it makes you just want to dance like Jennifer Grey or something.
No.
Might be the perfect pop song. Thank you, Pete. Little different. And I love it. And I think it deserves to be on the list.
Can we edit that out of my version of the podcast, Gloria? I mean, we're talking about hype songs and Eye of the Tiger. And let me show you what a real hype song is like. Let's play a little We Will Rock You.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face.
Are you having trouble banging along to this?
Kicking your can all over the place, singing, we will rock you.
Okay, it's a classic. Everyone loves Queen.
Everyone likes to get excited. They don't want to play Gloria about, what is Gloria even about?
It's actually about her, I think, being on the run from a hitman. I don't know. The lyrics are a little dark. But here's the thing about We Will Rock You. To me, where it loses points is it's not associated with one team.
We Will Rock You is perfect hype song. It doesn't lose any points. It's 100 out of 100.
But like Rocky, your theme song is obviously for Rocky. Mine is with either, the Chicago Bulls with the Alan Parsons Project or the Gloria with the St. Louis Blues. We Will Rock You is just every high school gym, college gym. Like, nobody globbed on to We Will Rock You.
If one team comes out singing Gloria and the other comes out with We Will Rock You, I'd bet on the We Will Rock You team.
I don't know. Let's go to the phones. 855-212-4CBS. Justin is in Sacramento. Good morning, Justin.
I just want to say for the record, Rocky IV is the best Rocky. Like, there's no argument to that.
I know. And I'm assuming you were born on or about 1983, just like me.
I mean, it's the perfect Rocky film. Like you said, Cold War, everything. All right, but you guys are talking like songs with teams, but what about like entrance songs for like baseball pitchers or fighters?
Ooh.
Yeah.
For me, one of the biggest like audience pops I've ever heard in my life it's from the MMA world, but when the fighter Uriah Faber would come out to California Love because his nickname was the California Kid. I've never had my eardrums hurt after an ovation like that from any other sporting event than seeing that live.
You know what, Justin? Great call all the way around. Rocky, Uriah Faber, thank you. I mean, this does it. Great walkout song. Is it an anthem? It's a great walkout song.
The boxing walkout songs they're pretty good. We might have to dive into that list too.
Actually, one of the great boxing walkout songs is on our list already. I didn't know we were going to go this way, but now that we're talking about it, let's just keep it going. Arturo Gatti, may he rest in peace, used to come out to Thunderstruck by AC/DC, which we already have on the list, and he was Arturo Thunder Gatti. This is a great walkout song. Well, it didn't help when he was taking liver shots from Mickey Ward, but Gatti was a great fighter.
But other teams have claimed this song. I know this plays it everywhere.
Yeah, it does. But we're talking about walkout music. That's one of the first ones that comes to mind.
I feel like we're skewing old. Are there any songs from this millennium that are on our list?
Yeah, I've got one. However, I want to give a caveat here. We're a morning show now.
Okay.
We're getting people started on their day.
So we can't have profanity?
Well, no, that's fine. We're trying to, we don't want to do anything. We want people to have a good day. We're not trying to do anything that's going to put them in a different direction.
What are you possibly talking about? Is there a sports anthem that you're worried about?
I'm talking about the Washington Nationals, who all got behind the song Baby Shark. It's unfair to do to people at this hour of the day.
Oh, this is a problem.
Sorry. Had they not won the World Series, we wouldn't put it on the list.
People have been cursing us out all day.
I know, I'm sorry. I gave him the caveat. And I'm sorry, America, now that it's stuck in your head all day.
So,
all right, throw in the towel. We can't.
So I'm bringing Rocky. I'm bringing Rocky and We Will Rock You. You're bringing Baby Shark and Gloria.
You asked for something recent. I gave you Baby Shark by Pink Fong.
Okay, what would be your walkout song, Maggie? Have you thought about this before?
Yeah, Dirt Off Your Shoulder by Jay-Z, probably.
Yeah.
We don't have that. That's fine. You guys, we don't have to look for it, but yeah. Thought about that a little bit.
I get that question a lot, and I always say Sailing by Christopher Cross, just to go against the grain.
Yeah.
Like everybody walks out to Metallica. Anybody could do that. Nobody comes out to light rock.
Yacht rock.
Yeah. A little, I don't know, Steely Dan or something.
I do love Asia.
Yeah, I love that song about the Pina Colada song. Like nobody would come out to that. Everybody enjoys that song.
Against type walk-up music. So there you go. Greatest sports anthems. We've got ours. Mine is Alan Parsons Project, the song Sirius, which you know as the Chicago Bulls anthem. And for Perloff, an obvious one, he went with the Rocky theme.
I mean, do we discount Creed's body of work, because obviously they've had proven success with the Marlins, and now they're winning with the Rangers. I think Creed has a strong argument to be in this conversation.
No. Listen, we paid Baby Shark.
It's game day.
This is rough.
We want strikeouts, base hits, double plays. Take the field, hear the roar of the crowd. Come on, Marlins, make us proud. Come on,
it's so bad.
Wow.
Keep hoping and dreaming on you.
I'd rather someone take that Marlins statue that was in their stadium and put it in my living room than have to listen to that song.
It's such an Eddie Vedder ripoff, by the way. You realize they're trying to be Pearl Jam, but it's
there's something missing there.
There's something missing, yeah. But that was kind of cool. I don't know. It's sports themes. I don't think the bar is that high. Just get everyone into it. If everyone sings a Sweet Caroline is not a theme song, but everyone gets hyped for that.
Well, that's what the Boston Red Sox. Sweet Caroline is known with the Red Sox.
Yeah. If you play it enough in the stadium, it becomes a thing.
One of my least favorite songs, Sweet Caroline. Just let's give it a rest. 855. Oh. No.
Touching hands. You don't want me singing.
No.
Reaching out.
This is worse than Pink Fong's Baby Shark.
Here it comes.
This is just like last call at the bar / Boston Red Sox. All right, I can't. And also, like, it's about Caroline Kennedy when she was like 15 when he wrote this about her. It's a weird angle to that.
No one knows what the song's actually about.
I thought they admitted it was about Caroline Kennedy.
That's another rule about sports anthems. Don't dig into the lyrics. Just
That's the problem with Creed with the Marlins. They
don't dig into
a bat on ball sound. It's like a little too on the nose, guys.
Yeah, it's like taking pitches at 3 and 2, describing certain scenarios.
It's like a runner on second, no outs. Gotta watch this curve. Anyway, 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. Greatest sports anthems. That's our great debate for this Wednesday. Got a lot more to do, including one team who is bracing for a potential teardown. Here's a hint. Not the Minnesota Vikings. Get to that just a moment. Don't move. Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. 15 seconds.
Gloria, Gloria. I think they got your number. Call those
Break
cows,
in
Gloria.
in
I
5
think
seconds.
you got the yelliest, Gloria, that you've been living under, Gloria. But you really don't remember.
Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff.
This would be my walk-up music.
Oh, okay. This is your song? Coming in to close out the game, Maggie Gray. Yeah, that feeling.
Can't just see it in your mind.
I would love just once to run out. If I was coming out of the bullpen as a closer, I would do the sprint.
You got to sprint.
You got to sprint.
But then you're out of breath for like your first 2 pitches.
Wow, these are highly trained athletes.
Yeah, I don't think they do a lot of sprinting though, do they? They do like a lap around the stadium. Baseball players aren't doing sprints.
No, especially relief pitchers.
Yeah, maybe like the guys who are stealing bases.
Yeah, there's many things about our last segment. We're debating the greatest sports anthem. You can call in 855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227.
That's not my great sports anthem, though.
Yeah.
Mine is Alan Parsons' project,
mine
the
was
Chicago Bulls.
Great one. Mine is the Rocky theme. There's a lot of different options here, but I'm still obsessed with the fact that all our callers and you seem to think Rocky IV is the best Rocky.
Yeah, I do.
And you not only think Eye of the Tiger is better than the Rocky theme.
Yeah.
And what is that silly song from Rocky IV?
Hearts on Fire.
I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
It makes you want to go out in the snow and start like chopping wood and lifting up wagons and, just training in a way that's totally natural, unlike Ivan Drago, who had to cheat. So,
We need to do a watch party on Rocky IV, and you have to realize how silly this movie is.
No, of course it's silly. It was made in like
But
1985.
Rocky I is like amazingly good.
You're going to tell me this doesn't get you fired up? You're out of your mind. I'll tell you what.
What instrument is that?
I was going to say, in the 80s, they were making music with everything but instruments.
Yeah, they had. Remember, have you guys you would have it's part guitar, it's part piano, a keytar.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Just like pushing a lot of buttons, but no instruments. Not in the 80s. Not for
Good
songs
times.
like this.
Good times. Okay, so you'll admit Rocky IV critically is not as good as Rocky I.
Yeah, but the Rocky one to me, forgive me, maybe it's because of my age, it's a little slow. Oh my gosh. I know. It's a little slow for me.
It's not your age. It's a beautiful film. It's one of the great cinematography. John Avedon. It's an amazing movie. Unlike Rocky III and I like Rocky III, but Rocky IV.
Rocky III is great with Clubber Lang.
Well, at least you're not going with the ones with Tommy Morrison and the Mason-Dixon line, the later ones.
Yeah, the later ones, they really lost me. But
Creed's good.
Brought me back in with Creed. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's just if you're a certain person who was born in a certain time between like 1980 and 1988, I think Rocky IV is probably your favorite one.
I don't like that, though. You can recognize that old movies are great. Like On the Waterfront's great,
Yeah.
and you don't have to be born in 1954.
I know, but there's something about the hit of I think it's the Cold War. I think it's something that is one of your first memories of like conflict. Because,
By the way,
yes.
Have you tried to watch On the Waterfront? It is a snooze fest.
Well, I have seen it. I put it as one of my greatest boxing movies of all time.
Oh, yeah. There's so much boxing in there.
I know, but just the line, I could have been a contender instead of a bum like I am. That puts it right in my top
Pure
5.
sports movie.
Let's go to the phones. Frank is in Georgia. Good morning, Frank.
Hey, good morning, Maggie and Perloff.
Frank,
Hey,
wait.
I gotta go
Frank,
with
is this the same Frank who debunked the rumor last week that calamari is actually goat anus?
No, pig.
Yes.
Thank you, Frank. You become a really key contributor to the show, so thank you.
Oh, I thank you. I got to go with Perloff here on the Rocky music. And in terms of the movies, Rocky 1 and 2, and that's it. I don't have to go any further than that.
Frank, I thank you very much for your support. Rocky 2 is not great, though. Rocky 1 is great. Rocky 2 is kind of hit and miss, right?
Yeah, but you kind of need the two together to kind of paint the whole picture. You like to see Rocky win, and in Rocky 2, he ends up winning. But that music, that's in my workout music. That's in my playlist every single day.
Which one?
And,
the original Rocky theme, not Eye of the Tiger.
The original Rocky.
Yeah.
No, not Eye of the Tiger. Eye of the Tiger's nice. It's fun. But if I want to get the blood pumping and really go for it, it's that original Rocky theme.
Yeah. No, Frank, I get it. And again, thank you. Solid contributions to the show all around. Frank works in seafood quality control adjacent to that, or did work in that at some point. And we were under the... Someone had called in, and we were under the impression that calamari is actually pig or goat anus, and Frank was good enough to come in and tell us that's just not true. It's an old wives' tale.
Yeah.
And then Bogish, even though we knew it wasn't true, you still ate calamari last weekend, just like flying in the face of this rumor.
The next day, gladly ordered it, gladly ate it, did not tell the rest of the table I was at what it might be. Whatever it was delicious. So I will live in ignorant bliss.
Deep fry anything. Literally.
Apparently.
I still can't. I know it's fake, and we got duped by somebody, but I still don't think I'm going to be able to eat fried calamari for another 6 months.
No, you'll be fine.
Will I, though?
Yes. I'll get some right now.
But Bogish, what would be your sports update walk-up song? Like, I think...
that's a good question.
Yeah, maybe you should come in with a theme song.
Yeah, maybe for next hour.
I can introduce myself that way?
Yeah.
Now step into the microphone.
How about I just don't do updates? I just play songs to express my feelings on the previous night.
Who let the dogs out over and over again for Bogish?
No, that one
we have not mentioned that song, by the way.
No.
That's another theme, annoying sports anthems.
Listen, this is solid memories for 4 out of the 5 people in this studio.
No, I win this one because I was covering that World Series in the Yankee clubhouse after they won the World Series at Shea Stadium, and as a group, they sang "Who Knocked the Mets Out."
Oh,
I had to stand there for that.
Wait, I'm sorry, pleading ignorance here. This was a Yankees theme song?
This is the Mets theme song in 2000 when they made the Subway Series. When they won, they would play. Yeah.
That's even lamer than being the Mets.
Oh,
Yeah.
Could have done without that.
Who Let the Dogs Out was their theme song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Baja Boys.
The Baja Men.
Well, they were the boys when they started, and they grew up.
Thank you, Hickey. Solid correction.
Dan Patrick has the best story. One time he said they brought in the Baja Men to play live behind Sports Center. He said something to them like, "Do you guys have a second song?" And they're like, "Nope." I think that's the story.
That's so awesome. That's like one of those executives that you just never hear from again, who's like, "I got this brilliant idea. We're going to play Baja Men behind Sports Center." It's like, whatever happened to Bill? It's like, Bill got fired.
And the Mariners beat the White Sox 8-5. Who let the dogs out?
It was Sports Center top 10 and everything. It's just who let the dogs out. That's like some kind of hell.
The song speaks for itself. Do you need it played live?
Again, the instruments. What are they?
Yeah, I'm surprised they can be played live.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I have no idea.
The live dogs in the studio for the barking.
Right? Like, did the Baja Men go on tour? Like,
I'm sure. Everyone goes on tour. I mean, listen, the Mets have had a couple. Obviously, Meet the Mets. That's like a more. But then they had the guy with the trumpets.
Yeah.
I did not like that guy from the beginning.
That was kind of exciting for a while.
No. I didn't like that guy from the beginning because here was a cardinal sin. He was not American. That's not his sin. But he didn't really understand baseball and like superstition. I don't know why that one really got to Hickey. But he didn't understand baseball and baseball superstition. So he comes out in like the middle of July where the Mets are crushing.
Yeah.
And he's like playing the trumpet, boop-ba-da-ba. And then he's like, we're going to the World Series. Like, dude, shut up. You have no idea what the history of the Mets is. Like, get out of here with your predictions.
Refresh my memory. Was this who played the trumpet? A guy ran out of the ball.
Trumpet or whatever.
He's a fan, right?
No, he was an actual recording artist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they plucked him from like Australia or something. He has no clue what he's talking about. And he goes in and starts calling his shot on a Mets World Series in the middle of July.
And it was one pitcher who used it, right?
Edwin Diaz.
Edwin Diaz, the closer.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Timmy Trumpets. I actually think this is a song by somebody else, and it's his trumpet
he does the
track.
trumpet.
Blaster Jacks.
Yeah,
there it
Blaster
is.
Jacks, that's what
All right, this song's been around forever.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't want to hear it.
That
what happened next. The Mets don't even make the playoffs after winning 101, or made the playoffs and ended up losing after 101.
And he got hurt. Yeah.
And he got hurt. Yeah. This song's doing nothing
Don't
for
blame
anybody.
the song. It's kind of exciting, no? Okay.
Boo.
Yeah, Bogus, you got an hour to come up with the perfect Andrew Bogus walk-up sports update song.
I already got it.
Okay, we'll save it for next
Dave
time.
Matthews, something.
Oh, you do love Dave
You know
Matthews.
what?
We're not doing a 9-minute guitar solo.
It did cross my mind, but no, it will not be a Dave Matthews song.
Crash.
No, it wouldn't be that either.
Nobody plays
Don't drink
Dave
the water.
Nobody plays Dave Matthews in stadiums, do they?
I don't know about in stadiums, but ESPN used one of their new songs for their open to the Notre Dame Duke game.
Here's the question. How can you tell a Dave Matthews new song from an old song when all the songs
That
sound
is
the same?
such
Great question.
That's such a day one remark, man.
There's
so disappointing.
Second
All right,
question.
I'm a casual.
There's a
I'll
new
admit it.
Dave Matthews song? What?
Yeah, there's a whole new album out.
I'm sure that's a joy.
Recreations?
That's when they play some of their new stuff and everyone can go to the bathroom.
Well,
in mass.
That is cruel.
That does happen.
Maggie, that is cruel.
Sorry.
But that's true of everybody.
That's true. Yeah. Anytime a band comes out and says we're playing our new stuff, it's like, who wants something from the bar? I'll
Yeah.
go get it. All right. See you. Bring me back when
There's a
they're
scene.
playing the hits.
I hate to do this. Quote this. There's a scene in The Simpsons where Homer goes to a Bad Company concert,
Yeah.
and he's like, "We're gonna play some of our new stuff," and he starts screaming, harassing them, "Play the hits, play this song." So they start playing their big hit. 2 seconds in, he goes, "Play the other hit song." He's like, back then you had one song, and like, how you fill out a concert.
So my
Yeah.
friend is a lawyer for a big music company, and she is responsible for like setting up gigs for bands like Pearl Jam, stuff like that. I'm just gonna brag for my friend on it for a minute. They have it in their contracts for bands like Pearl Jam and other stuff that they have to play a certain number of hit songs when they're doing shows.
Oh, when they set up the contract?
It's like the band can choose which ones they want, but they have to be these critical acclaim songs, like you know which ones we're talking about.
Yeah.
And they have to play a certain number, like a certain percentage of the concert has to be those hits.
I once almost saw Revolt. I went to a Hall & Oates concert. And they were playing Christmas music. They do an hour of Christmas music, and everyone's getting restless. And finally, Hall gets up there. He's like, "All right, fine, we'll play the hits." And he was mad at the audience because they're like, "Play Private Eyes, not another version of Silent Night." It was really weird.
It's like, fine, you idiots. You want? I can't go for that.
Yeah.
Jeez, you bloodthirsty heathens.
Man, we're getting a lot
We're
of
artists up here.
There's a lot of street cred with this segment. I was at a Hall & Oates Christmas concert. And this was not a long time ago. This was like 4 years ago.
This is last Christmas. All right. 855-212-4CBS. Bogus, you didn't even do any headlines yet. Let's do it.
No, that's all sponsored by
Oh,
Northern
yeah.
Tool
What's this?
and Equipment. Get the tools you need from the brands you trust. Start solving your projects today at northerntool.com. We're made for this. Connor Bedard looked the part in his NHL debut last night in Pittsburgh. The 18-year-old number one pick played nearly 21 minutes, took 11 shots, had an assist, and won.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, to get the win, I think, obviously being down 2 and coming back like we did, I think it's awesome for our group. And, I think you remember it with a little better taste in your mouth when you win. So, it was awesome.
Chicago rallying for a 4-2 win in Pittsburgh.
Big win for my Blackhawks, by the way. Big win for my Blackhawks.
So the only thing left for Bedard is to put a call into.
Bleeding me dry like a damn vampire.
It's the best idea we've ever had.
It really is. And there'd be no more Bedard jerseys for you to buy, Perloff, if these two got together.
Got to hook him up with Olivia Rodrigo. It's got to happen.
No,
It
no.
has to happen. Crossover.
First of all, you need a Canadian superstar like the new Celine Dion. He's not interested in Olivia Rodrigo.
Bret Hart.
He's an 18-year-old dude. I'm pretty
He's from
sure
Vancouver.
he is.
He probably doesn't even know who Olivia Rodrigo. I mean, he's been in junior hockey. He's been drinking beers. He's probably at a much different brand.
He's thinking like an older lady?
No, I just think that Olivia Rodrigo, he's not going to go for like the Disney crowd and my 12-year-old daughter. He's dating a woman, although he looks like he's 14. This is the
He's
dumbest
dating
theory.
what was he, Zach Wilson?
No, I don't
What are
know.
you turning this kid into?
He's going to date a supermodel. That's what the hockey guys do. A lot of
I
them
mean,
date.
Olivia Rodrigo is pretty enough to be a supermodel, and she's got a lot of talent.
First of all, win a Stanley Cup. Stop getting him trying to matchmake here and have him get a famous girlfriend.
Listen, I'm
get
expecting
famous by winning on the ice.
I'm expecting a call from Gary Bettman later today just with an atta girl. Just thank you for the great idea, Maggie.
Oh, that's
That
that's
one's for free. I know. Oh, Perloff's got a Barbara Streisand story. I'll tell it another time.
Wait, who's dating Barbara Streisand?
Maybe
Like
Connor
for a more
Bedard.
mature woman.
Mature woman.
Like Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach Wilson's about dating the mom, not the grandma.
I think if you're an NHL guy, you can't date Olivia Rodrigo. You got to, NHL's like the tough guy sport.
Yeah, so.
I feel like you have to date, I don't know. Like,
Joan Jett?
Like,
She's been through a couple things. She's seen some things. She's a weathered rock star. I love Joan Jett, by the way. This is not women on woman crime. I'm just saying she's seen a few things.
Like a UFC?
No, like
person?
a supermodel, not like a Disney star. I know.
I don't
Olivia-
think she's a Disney star anymore, though. I think she'd be insulted by that moniker
know.
at this point. She's got like multiple actual records now.
Maybe go for Miley Cyrus because she seems like
Yeah, she's seen a few things.
she's
too.
tough. I mean, she's a Disney star, but she's a little wild.
I think she's smoking way too much weed.
Think?
I mean, I only know this because every time I see something with her, she's super stoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she, okay.
That might be
Anyway.
too much, lady,
Can
for
we,
young
again,
Connor.
back to winning on the ice. That's what's going to do it
Okay.
for Connor Bedard, not by dating a famous person.
Because all those Golden Knights are well known these
All
days.
those national commercials.
Big Jonathan Marchessault fans. They won last night 4-1 over the Kraken. They raised their Stanley Cup banner out of a slot machine. I don't know if you guys saw this.
No.
On the
I
ice,
didn't.
they had a slot, big slot machine, and 3 Stanley Cups hit, and then the banner went up to the rafters.
Man, they're
And
killing it
They
with
really
the
are.
in-arena entertainment. I mean, you have to because it's Vegas, but good job.
Yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
were.
look it up.
They started that whole on ice like
medieval
graphic.
times.
Yes, but where like the ice becomes like the screen, and the guy comes out and they fight, and the other mascot falls into the makeshift hole on the ice. It's amazing.
By the way, we should be like Las Vegas fans. I feel like the Aces are doing really well, right?
We should. We
Tom
have
Brady's part of that whole thing.
our friend Sully lives in Vegas. We can just crash at his place.
The Golden Knights are good. We're trying to get out to the Super Bowl this year.
I can't
feel
get
like
into that dome though.
F1 is taking over the city. I heard they're building the whole thing right now. It's going to go right through the casinos. It's going to be amazing. The
that's
racetrack.
cool.
Yeah, I feel like Vegas having a huge sports renaissance.
John Taffer's there. The great John Taffer.
The restaurant guy?
Yeah.
Who?
John Taffer from Bar Rescue.
Yeah, Bar Rescue.
Thanks, Pete.
I've interviewed him before. He was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, you have some great celebrities out there.
Yeah, it's Vegas.
Wait,
I'm all
Pete, are
for
you
it.
one of those like restaurant show guys?
No, I just love that show. I love when he yells at people.
He does
That's
yell at
why
people.
he likes the yelling.
I do.
In your free time, sports
That's
talk
Pete's
radio.
porn. I get to.
Sports
yes,
talk radio,
yelling.
not enough yelling for you. You got to also enjoy it on your personal time. Okay. We learned more about
Also,
Pete
big
today.
Gordon Ramsay fan, I'm sure.
Shut it down.
The tagline and everything.
Baseball, the Texas Rangers are now 5 for 5 this postseason, closing out the 100-win Orioles 7-1 in Game 3 in Arlington. Manager Bruce Bochy.
For us to play this kind of ball that we, been playing since we went to Tampa, of course against Baltimore, I just told the guys it's incredible how well they've been clicking all facets of the game.
It was 6-0 after 2 innings last night. That was plenty for Nathan Eovaldi, who K'd 7 over 7. The Astros are almost done with the Twins, taking a 2-1 lead with a 9-1 win at Target Field. Yordan Alvarez, a homer and 2 doubles. Jose Abreu went deep twice, drove in 5. Game 4 for them is at 7 Eastern tonight, while the NL Division Series play their Game 3s. There was NBA action where it belongs last night in Seattle. The Clippers hosting the Jazz in a preseason showdown. LA won 103-98 with Kawhi scoring 16. Nikola Jokic, 9 points, 3 boards in 18 minutes. The Nuggets beat the Suns 115-107. But more importantly, Denver head coach Michael Malone lost his dad yesterday. Brendan was 81. The older Malone, an NBA assistant for 30-plus years, most notably helping the Pistons develop the Jordan rules in the late 80s. Brendan was also the first head coach in Raptors history. Kansas men's basketball learns its fate from major NCAA recruiting violations today. This is the last open case connected to the 2017 federal probe into corruption in the sport. And some NFL notes, free agent lineman La'el Collins worked out for the Jets yesterday. We'll see the Giants today. Both New York area teams can take whatever blocking help they can get these days. The Bengals cut Collins back in September as he was still working back from a December knee injury. Guys, back to you.
Andrew Bogusch, thank you. Next hour, we'll get your walk-up music.
I have a huge gripe with baseball. Huge. I'm going to save it.
Save it.
It's a big issue, and I think I know one of the main problems with the sport right now.
All right. We'll get to that in just a moment. Don't move. More Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining.
Any Lattimore, brand new.
2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
He's a friend of mine, you know. Listen, Any Lattimore, brand new. Not even out yet. He's a friend of mine, you know.
2 minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. 15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
All right, Maggie, last night there was no football on, so it was my time to catch up on the baseball series, really dive in. Sit down, 7:45 at night, Eastern time, get the remote, start kicking around. I'm like, all right, let's turn on the game, go to TNT. It's a little Big Bang Theory. I'm like, okay, it's not there, must be on TBS. I can never remember. Then I watched the last 10 minutes of The Replacements with Keanu Reeves, so that was really fun.
That was on TBS?
Yeah, it was on TBS. And by the way, that's on all the time.
Yes.
There was no Rizzoli and Isles, which I always love to accidentally run into when I'm looking for sports.
It's really NCAA tournament.
Then I switch over to ESPN, and then I'm hooked on Connor Bedard. So an hour and a half later, I finally find the baseball, and it's A-Rod interviewing Alex Bregman, and A-Rod actually looks into the monitor and is checking his teeth during the interview, which was an amazing moment.
Like, do I have something in my teeth, like spinach?
No, like he whitens his teeth like crazy, and he was like, "Oh my gosh!" I took a picture of it. He's just literally looking at his teeth and not listening to Alex Bregman, which is so on brand for A-Rod.
Yeah. Does anyone exist outside of A-Rod to A-Rod?
But I do think the baseball should all be on one channel to singularly focus the audience, because then you can promote it consistently. You know exactly where to go. NFL, everyone knows. Monday night, ESPN. Sunday night, NBC. Thursday night, now Amazon.
Yeah.
With baseball, like, there's a bunch of games tonight. Nobody knows where these games are. Like, if I quiz even Bogus, who's doing the updates, like, where are the National League games? He wouldn't know.
So, and you think this is a problem because you started watching The Replacements and you missed the game?
They lost me. Yeah, I'm not going to turn off the end of The Replacements. I like a feel-good football movie.
It's Keanu.
So tonight, the Braves-Phillies TBS, Astros-Twins is FS1, and then there's another TBS game. Like, that's a lot of work to figure out where things are.
Yeah, it's a ton of work. You got to Google in your phone, where's the game? I mean, what a heavy lift for you. How dare baseball inconvenience you in this way?
Well,
Do you think it's
a smart strategy to go for the money and spread it out like that? It obviously is not working. This is definitely, like, you think any of these games are rating? Like, you could put on an ACC football game. We could watch Virginia Tech and North Carolina State would blow these games out of the water.
Just because it's like, I don't think it's that bad. I can just look it up. Hey, where are the Astros? What network are the Astros playing tonight? And I get the answer in 0.5 seconds.
But it doesn't feel big when you sort of moving the games around. They lose some gravitas to me.
I'm so used to it now. I've been conditioned as a sports fan. The NCAA tournament, I'm watching Kentucky play on True TV. Like, Amazon, you mentioned it on Thursday nights. Like, it's not that precious to me anymore. I just want to watch the game.
Yeah, I think it's not even that. It's the marketing. Baseball, I guess Fox does promote the World Series a little bit, but you're not sure. I mean,
I'm not sure.
I mean, like, I don't think the average fan knows for sure. Like, do you know where the championship series are broadcast? Probably not. I mean, why would you?
I know I wouldn't, because I'm not going to store that in my brain. So yeah, maybe it's not good marketing, but I can find it easily. So
you can find it. I know.
I'm not like docking Major League Baseball for that.
Yeah, honestly, I think that they should all put everything on one network. Just do it. Just go to Fox. There was ESPN was involved in the wild card too.
Yep. Well, they want to pay for these live sports rights because it's the only thing you can sell ads against these days.
Right, but it seems like it's a money grab, and it's not really like, hey,
Have you met sports? Sports is one big money grab.
But NFL is really smart about how they position their product, and I feel like MLB is not.
Okay, are you going to keep that same energy for later on this season when the Bills play the LA Chargers on Peacock?
Well, no.
Streaming only.
No, this is a mess. I hate these streaming only games because then I have to come out of my app and I've done nothing but complain about that for 6 months. And I don't love the fact that I'm not really sure where the London game is on and when it's on. I don't think this is great for the sport, but I mean, it's fine because they do 5 games that are on weird channels. MLB, this is the playoffs.
Wait, Hickey, you're younger than us. Does this bother you?
I'm actually with Andrew. Last night looked at 5 different channels before I found the game, and I found it accidentally. Like, who would ever think a game's going to be on Big Fox on a Tuesday night?
Yeah, I know. The Masked Singer had to take a break. It's shocking.
Do you guys every March when you're looking for the first round of the NCAA tournament go to TBS and see the show Bones? That it's like a tradition. Like no.
Bones is right before Inside the NBA comes on. I'm always watching a little Bones before Charles Barkley.
I'm always like, okay, here's the 1 seed against the 16 seed. Oh no, it's Rizzoli and Isles.
I think it's Impractical Jokers that they just jam down your
Practical
throat.
Jokers. I hit that when I'm looking for sports all the time.
By the way, what happened with those guys? Because there were 4 and now there's only 3.
Is that right?
Oh, really?
I think there might have been a breakup or something. It's like Destiny's Child. They started with 4, went down to 3, and now it's just like no one remembers that other chick.
How long has that show been on? A long time now.
They're still coming up with pranks, I guess.
I guess so.
Good for them. Yeah.
By the way, they will be on after a baseball game, probably tonight.
Without a doubt. You can set your watch to that. To me, it doesn't matter. Listen, this is sports now in this day and age. And of course, it's the consumer and the customer that gets absolutely the short end of the stick because we got to pay for every streaming service. We got to pay extras. Like if you want Pac-12 network and if you want ACC.
I don't.
Well, I'm just saying, if you did.
Some reason I get on my tier, and I don't understand why, ACC, SEC, and no Pac-12.
Same with me.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Colorado, last week was the first time all year that I actually wanted it to see Colorado.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, should I pay for this? And no.
Well, because what's the Pac-12 starting next year?
You're
It
right.
doesn't exist.
That is a network. The Pac-2 network.
Yeah, it's just Oregon State and Washington State playing each other 100 times in a row.
Now we're going to go to an Oregon State intramural badminton tournament.
Which probably would be riveting. We'll get to Deion Sanders a little bit later. Meanwhile, our great debate topic today, greatest sports anthems. So you are welcome to weigh in. If you want to watch the show, youtube.com/CBS Sports Radio is where you can go. We're seeing some contributions from the chat here. They like a lot of Jump Around.
Oh,
the
great
Wisconsin theme. There we go. This is...
I mean, you get 20,000 drunk college students and this song comes on, it's a party.
I feel like this is a song that people are very proud of themselves when they know all the words.
You were speaking to me directly. That is a shot right at me.
I didn't even mean it. Also, why is Adam Hurley saying in the chat, Maggie was probably a stoner? What about me gives off that vibe? No. I don't think I give off stoner vibe.
No way.
I was not a stoner. I wish I could get some of that energy. It's like Maggie gives off too caffeinated vibe.
Huh. That's funny. I would lean more that you might have enjoyed some of the
you think I give up
back in the day.
You think that me and Aaron Rodgers, same, plant-based medicine?
Yeah, I feel like, you could make an argument it's better than OxyContin, and you'd be one of those people like marijuana's a good bit.
Jeez, OxyContin, good grief.
No, but that's the sports argument that you should be using marijuana instead of
if I was like a middle linebacker.
Yeah. No, I imagine that, I don't want to get you in trouble.
No, you're not getting me in trouble. It's just not me.
Okay.
Adam Hurley, why do you think that I was a scum? Anyway, a lot more to do, including we get to Deion Sanders, what he had to say, a very revealing moment from Deion. Get to that in a moment. Maggie and Perloff, Stoner Heaven, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining.
Hey, ready?
15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
He's destined to get knocked out by Jake Paul. She's destined to film it. They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff, the new morning show right here on CBS Sports Radio. Perloff, I really have to give a shout out to sports fans because since sports fans have gotten savvier and savvier, we totally understand, and it is a strategy, and oftentimes a really good strategy, for your team to tank and to suck and to stink. And fans, I think, are totally okay with it and on board. If they can see the direction and they can see a brighter future, they're okay with losses in the short term. Like, there's a reason why suck for luck and tank for Tua became these rallying cries. And you could argue all of that worked out. Tua looks great. I mean, Ryan Hickey had many good years with Andrew Luck before he had to leave the sport. I mean,
well, tank for Tua. Tua wasn't even the number one pick. But
right,
yeah.
It ended up being Joe Burrow, but whatever.
He was the fifth pick, yeah.
It's okay, though, because it's working out now for Miami. And you're seeing an opportunity where this trade deadline feels like it's bigger in the NFL than we've ever seen before. And I think partly because teams are realizing, hey, there's a fork in the road here, and we can either set ourselves up for next year or we can keep going down this road of mediocrity, which gets us nowhere. And I think the fans are to, I would say blame, I think the fans are to be like praised for that. They realize, like, hey, my team could sell off its parts and all of its pieces, and that doesn't mean it's a bad franchise. It means it's a smart franchise.
I hear what you're saying, but the problem with this tanking discussion in the NFL, because Caleb Williams is so good at USC, the quarterback, that you're hearing like 8 or 9 or 10 different teams are tanking. Do you know how hard it is to have the worst record?
Well, you got to commit. You got to commit to the bit.
But there's such a great chance that you end up at number 2, and then you're in the number 2 spot where guys like Zach Wilson have gone. And this year, Drake May in North Carolina looks like a strong number 2, but there's no guarantee with that. So I just think this tanking game is very dangerous, especially in the NFL. It's really hard to get the number 1 overall pick. And some of the teams we're hearing about tanking, just there's no way they're going to get all the way that bad. Like, they have too many veteran players.
Okay, you say that, but Jacksonville got it back-to-back years where they took Trayvon Walker, they took Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, but they're one of the worst franchises the last 20 years.
Okay, but now they're playing much better. I mean, Trayvon Walker, not so much, but obviously Trevor Lawrence was totally worth it. And you've got the Bears, who had the number 1 pick last year. Obviously, they traded it to Carolina, but they could get the number 1 pick this year again. I mean,
absolutely. But I'm hearing teams that are 2 and 3 that they should tank.
You think it's getting out of control?
I've heard the word tank with so many different and read with at least 10 different teams. And you have to realize that's not going to happen. I mean, let's listen. You've definitely heard it with the Bears. You've definitely heard it with the Broncos. You've definitely heard it with the Vikings, Patriots, Giants, Cardinals. That's 6 right there. Then Washington. People think Washington should tank.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're 2 and 3. They could make the playoffs. So then none of those, you can't have 7 teams competing to be the worst team.
Okay, but some of those teams are just, they're not even trying to tank. They're just bad. Like, you think the Broncos are trying to tank? I mean, it's crazy now. We got a report yesterday that the Broncos are, that the players, are bracing for like a potential sell-off.
Yeah.
And I get it because they haven't been good, but they didn't go into the season thinking they were going to tank. They've got the, third most expensive quarterback in the league that they traded multiple first-round picks for. They've got a coach they traded a first and a second-round pick for. He's one of the highest paid. Like, that's not tank on purpose. That's like just by accident we stink.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
I think that there were some people who thought this might be a bit of a reset year for Denver. I don't think everyone, because remember the Super Bowl hype last year when Russell got there?
Right.
Everyone's like, they're a contender. I didn't hear a lot of that this year. I think you have to let Sean Payton look at these players and say, okay, this guy's a winner, this guy's a loser, and let's get the losers out of there. And you saw that process start last week with Randy Gregory.
Yep.
So you're right. It's an unusual tank thing, but what about now? Now would you tank? They're 1-4 and they just lost to the Jets in Denver. Like, if you're going to lose to the Jets on the road, then I don't know who you're going to beat.
Yeah, at home, you mean. Yeah, they lost to the Jets last year at home, too. I mean, the problem is for the Broncos, like, if you do get this high pick, so you're taking a quarterback, and they're going to sit there behind Russ, or you're going to try to trade Russ, and
I don't care.
You're going to incur some major financial penalties.
Oh,
like,
if Caleb Williams is there, you figure it out.
well, if Caleb Williams is there, then yeah, everyone's going to do it, but you haven't made life easier on yourself, because that Russell contract is going to be probably, I would say, pretty tough to move in a way that's advantageous for your own team. And you'd be giving up on Russell Wilson after 2 seasons.
Well, right, but I think Caleb Williams is rare enough where you throw all that logic to the wind.
Maybe.
But that's the thing. That's Caleb Williams at number 1, and there's going to be great competition to get up there. I don't think it's going to be easy even for the Broncos to get the number 1 overall pick. I mean, listen, they've been in almost every game. Watch, they play the Chiefs, right, Thursday? Yep. Watch them make that game interesting. Who knows? I mean, they played the Chiefs close twice last year, and they were awful.
Well, and Travis Kelce is dealing with his leg injury. I mean, I know he came back in the game against the Vikings and scored a touchdown that they very much needed in a close game. But if Kelce, I would sit Kelce for this game, by the way. Do you really need Travis Kelce to beat the Broncos? I don't think so.
So I know where
the Minnesota Vikings are a team now people are saying to tank because Justin Jefferson's on IR.
We have a plan for this segment, but I just want to blow it up, and because I really want to hear your opinion on this.
Okay, tell me.
If I give you these teams, you tell me tank or no tank, in the sense that maybe not full out tank, but do you think tanking is a smart strategy? Okay, Chicago. They're 1-4. They're 1-4. They happen to have Carolina's pick, which is different because Carolina doesn't have their own pick, so there's no reason they'll tank. They have, so if you're Chicago and you're 1-4, you don't tank. You can't.
Chicago?
I think you have Justin Fields there. You got to try and win with him, especially because you killed the Commanders on Thursday night.
So what? That's fool's gold if you're going to say, oh, we killed Washington,
but
so now we've really turned a corner.
If they beat the Vikings this week, which is very plausible, then they're going to want to let's really try and win with Justin Fields.
That's why I think the fans are savvier than ever now. They understand what's real and what's not real. If you get the number 1 pick, you could start over with Caleb Williams. This almost isn't even an indictment on Justin Fields. Like, you start the clock over again, where you get a guy who's in the first year of his rookie deal, not someone who you have to pick up their 5th-year option at the end of the year.
I think Bears fans want the ideal scenario where the Panthers are the worst team, very likely, and they get the number 1 pick with that. That'd be amazing. Denver, would you tank? Or would you try to win?
No, I think they have to try to do something here. It's funny because they're going to start selling off the team, but, I mean, you do have a competent quarterback in Russell Wilson. I know he doesn't look like he did in 2012, but still. And I want to see what can Sean Payton do, not in 4 years or 3 years. What can he do for me today?
I tell you right now, nothing.
He looks terrible.
But honestly, trade away some of these players. Get these guys away from the team. You'll get better immediately. There are a lot of bad players there. Minnesota.
I like the tank for Minnesota. I do, because
everybody
I think
does.
You start off with a rookie quarterback next year. Maybe it's Caleb Williams, and Justin Jefferson is still young enough where the timeline fits.
You're gonna have to pay Justin Jefferson a ton of money.
Fine, I'm not paying my quarterback. That's great. I've plenty of money if I have a quarterback on a rookie deal.
Okay, New England.
I don't know if that's gonna be like a strategy. They might just really be that bad.
Yeah, I mean, their best player by a mile is gone for the season, Matthew Judon.
Yeah.
So that might be an accidental tank. All right, a couple more. Giants, would you consider tanking?
Yes, I would.
You paying Jones for 2 years, Daniel Jones for 2 years.
Yeah, that was a massive mistake. Even at the time, that's not a second guess. That was a first guess. I would try to tank because I think Brian Daboll, the head coach, still has enough goodwill from his first season that you could withstand a tank. And Jones, you can't seriously be thinking this is going to be our guy for the future. So get a young quarterback.
Quick ones. Arizona, still on the tank? You have Kyler Murray. That's a complicated situation.
What does Murray look like coming back from a knee injury?
Okay.
You've already paid him. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you do try to figure this out with Murray.
I think with the way your team is right now, you're accidentally tanking. Yeah. You stay in games. Here's the one I really want to debate. Tennessee Titans are 2-3.
Yep.
They, all of a sudden, their great strength, stopping the run, just completely fell apart against the Colts.
Yep.
Do you tank if you're the Tennessee Titans?
I thought the Tennessee Titans were tanking going into the season. I thought this was a perfect tank candidate. And then they went out and signed DeAndre Hopkins. And I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't line up with my theory at all.
They have serious all-pros on that team, which is funny. Just they don't have an offense.
I would have loved for Tennessee to tank. Just because where are they going? Like, you have Ryan Tannehill. He's on his last legs. They obviously aren't in super love with Will Levis because they didn't take him till the second round. And Malik Willis, I don't know what the future is for Willis.
It doesn't seem like it's developing there. I think they might have missed a little bit on Treylon Burks, their first-round receiver. So there's, you don't
think they should tank?
I don't think they should tank because they're in the AFC South. You never know. And I'm not sure. They're way too good to get to number one. So if you start tanking and you end up with like the 4 pick, what's the point of that? Here's an interesting thing. There's a lot of columns out now who will get traded at the trade deadline.
Yep.
Derrick Henry's name is starting to pop in all the...
I know. Obviously.
Yeah. So
that seems so obvious at the beginning of the year.
Is someone going to give up assets to get a 30-year-old Derrick Henry right now? I don't know where do you put him?
I don't think the asset's going to be met. I don't think that's a big... I mean, would I trade like a 5th-round pick for Derrick Henry?
The Titans...
Sure.
If you call the Titans and say, I'll give you a 5th-round pick for Derrick Henry, there is zero chance they'll do that. He's their whole offense.
Okay, well then no deal. Okay, I mean then I'll just move on and try to get a different running back.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Derrick.
Well, what should Derrick Henry go for? It'd be basically a rental.
I don't know. Like if you're a team like Miami or somebody who are like a contender, you don't want Derrick Henry on your team because you need to feed him the ball all the time. So like the Eagles, Derrick Henry, the Bills, Derrick Henry, would he fit in there? I mean, the Bills have such a pass-heavy offense. I don't think he would even help the team.
No, the Bills' issue is not they don't have any running backs. The issue is they don't use the running backs.
Well, maybe if you had Derrick Henry, you'd be so compelled to use him. I mean, I'm sure that people are going to make that connection at some point.
I don't think so. I mean, the Bills need a corner and defensive help. They lost like 3 All-Pros in a week.
Yeah, but Josh Allen was their leading rusher last week.
That's not good either.
With 14 yards. I don't know. Derrick Henry in the cold weather?
Sorry, did I offend people by saying a 5th-round pick for Derrick Henry? Aside, a slaw in the chat is giving me a lot of mean emojis. YouTube.com/CBS Sports Radio, by the way.
Is he a Titans fan?
I don't know. Maybe.
By the way.
Raiders tank from PR. Definite. Now, I don't know about now, but before the season,
that's the thing.
Nothing they did ever made sense going into this year.
The Raiders are 2-3. They have the easiest schedule the next few weeks. Like, you can't tank. It's not going to happen.
No.
Don't do a partial tank. That's the worst thing you can do. It's like, let's try and lose on purpose and trade all our assets and then go 6-11 and get the number 8 pick.
Yeah, and that's what the Raiders are going to do.
That's what they do every year. Good point.
Who do you like as a tank candidate? You're asking me, but you didn't answer yourself.
I think the Patriots have to really get in there. And I just think the tragedy is that the Panthers are the perfect tank candidate, but they just took a quarterback at number 1 overall.
Honestly, it'd be they don't have the 1st-round pick, but what a flex it would be for the Carolina Panthers to pull in Arizona Cardinals and just like, if they had their 1st-round pick, to take Caleb Williams anyway. You know what? We're just redoing this thing.
That would have been great drama. But can you imagine Caleb Williams being the successor to Tom Brady in New England? That would just immediately change the whole picture.
Here's the question about that. Say the Patriots do get the number 1 overall pick. You think Bill Belichick is going to get the chance to coach that?
That's a great question. Great question. I would say probably not right now, because if they do get the number 1 pick, that means they have 3 wins, and I think he walks away or he's sort of pushed.
That, to me, is such a grass is always greener. Like, you're going to go in there then with who? Gerard Mayo or Bill O'Brien or whoever they're going to make the head coach after Belichick. And you're going to trust that person more with a rookie quarterback than you would Belichick. I know it hasn't gone well with Mac Jones. Maybe that's a little on Mac Jones. Like maybe Mac Jones had a ceiling and this is it.
Or maybe Tom Brady won all those Super Bowls and Bill Belichick's overrated. It's starting to be in the ether, Maggie.
I know. This has been a rough time for Belichick's legacy.
Yeah.
He's getting slaughtered, which I think is not totally fair. I know his winning percentage without Tom Brady is like 44%, which is basically Chip Kelly. And with Tom Brady, it's like 70%, which is class all your own, essentially. But come on.
Well,
who was out there getting the tapes? Who was out there spying on those teams? Who was really doing the dirty work? Who was really trying to help the team bug in the locker room and all those things I totally believe happened?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. They were also such a well-run team. Like they knew when to cut guys and when to sign the right guys who fit into their mold. And it doesn't. Maybe the league got more athletic or something because their players just look slower than everyone else. Yeah. By the way, this tanking conversation. Yeah, I don't think any of this is really going to happen because if you're an NFL coach, you don't want to lose on purpose. If you're Mike Vrabel or you're Sean Payton, you think he's going to sit there and be 3-13? He can't tank. I mean, just the pride of these coaches. They're going to do everything they can to win.
Listen, I mean, that the ego with Sean Payton, I think, is what got him in trouble this season in the first place. You know, he came in talking this really tough game about Russell Wilson can't have his own office and double parking spots. Like, all that stuff is so dumb. But
that kind of ego would probably keep you from tanking.
Yeah, but again, what's better off? Like, are you putting your ego before what's best for the organization? That's what I don't like, coaches who do that, where it's all about me, and it's not about, hey, what's best for the Broncos?
Yeah.
Maybe to lose some games, it's probably better. I don't know.
Well, I remember Lovie Smith in Houston. They were basically asking him to lose, and he said, no way. By the way, if you want a Belichick model, they fired Tom Landry in Dallas, and Jimmy Johnson came in with the number 1 pick, and within 5 years built a Super Bowl champion. So It can work. You can follow a legend, I think.
You know what's funny, though? I think we were more patient back then. Wasn't Troy Aikman's rookie season historically bad? Same with Peyton Manning, right?
That was sort of a tank, though. They were all 23 years old, the whole team.
Yeah. I don't know if in this day and age would you be able to survive that.
Well, you're the one who's out there saying you should tank.
Well, I know, but but if you don't have success kind of immediately, I think it's hard. Only the Steelers and the Ravens, I guess, are this patient.
So the year that the Jets and the Jags tanked, Jet was Saleh the coach?
No, that was Adam Gase.
So they made him tank, then they fired him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why teams aren't going to want to tank.
I don't think they made him tank. They gave him a bad roster, and he was a terrible coach. Terrible coach, bad roster, bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, it's weird. So is Matt Eberflus, like, he's going to desperately want to win for the Bears.
All these coaches desperately want to win. These wins and losses go on their records. The tanking comes from above.
Philadelphia 76ers, during the process, they told Brett Brown, we're going to keep you for 5 years. Go ahead, feel comfortable losing.
It's such a funny thing to say.
Yeah, I think in the NFL, you can't do that. I think you're right. We're less patient.
855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. All right, not only are we talking about tanking today, we're also talking about great sports anthems. That is the topic for our great debate series today. Perloff and I on different sides of this one. I think the greatest sports anthem, and Pete, if you wouldn't mind, can we just delight our audience again with this banger? This is the greatest sports anthem. By a band named the Alan Parsons Project. Have we determined whether Alan Parsons was a person?
I looked it up. Yes. He is a real person.
Okay.
In the band.
Well, we salute you, Mr. Parsons. Best sports anthem, bar none, hands down, going away. Perloff, you think you can top it?
I know I can top it because I'm from Philadelphia and we are the town of champions. And this is why.
What are we waiting for? Take this!
Yeah, Maggie, back in the day, before a JV basketball game, I used to put that on, and I would totally get 6 points and 3 rebounds.
Wow, way to go.
Yeah.
Where would you have been without that song? 4
I
points, 1 rebound.
I do, by the way, I used to always, towards the end of my high school career, I always try and play music to get in the mood. And
of course, got to.
Yeah, it never really worked for me at all. But I do think it works for better. I was a terrible athlete, but I think it works for these guys. I think what music play is important. And honestly, this is stupid, but at the stadium, I feel like the players respond. Like, you got to play the right songs in the stadium. You can't just play like light rock.
I mean, someone should try. One that we have not talked about yet, and this is, we know all the big famous ones: New York, Sweet Caroline, Renegade, is a big one with the Steelers. I think that you wanted a more recent one. I can give you the last 20 years. Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. This one I think has really taken over. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong about this, but the reason why I didn't put this as my number one is I like it when the song is associated with one team. Like we were talking about Andrew Haney from the Rangers. They're playing Creed's Take Me Higher. I thought, but we can do better than that. but I don't think that Seven Nation Army is associated with one team. Am I wrong about that?
I know he's a huge Detroit fan, right? He's a huge Tigers fan. I don't know if they play. I haven't been to a Tigers game in a while, or ever actually. So I don't know if they play that at Detroit. That'd be pretty good. I don't know.
I don't associate that with one team though. So forgive me if I'm wrong, but I don't.
But I mean, what's the famous song? Do we have History of Rock? I don't even know who it's by. It's like an '80s song where they go da 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 da. Hey.
Got it. You know what I associate this with now? There's like a great episode of The Office where Steve Carell's character eats way too much sugar.
Yeah.
And then he's just dancing around to this in his office.
But would you say that 90% of teams play this at some point, right? Like this is there's certain songs that are used in every arena.
Yeah, this, We Will Rock You.
Yeah.
Like those are the staples.
Yeah.
Got a couple more. We see you guys on the phones. You want to get in on your favorite sports anthems. We will do that in just a moment. You've got ours. We want to hear yours. If you want to weigh in, youtube.com/CBS Sports Radio. You can hang in the chat is a great way to get in touch with us. Also, you can find us on social media at Maggie and Pearl on Twitter, Maggie and Perloff on Instagram, Maggie and Perloff on TikTok, Maggie and Perloff.
Did you say YouTube.com/
CBS Sports Radio.
Yep.
What else do we
Did you give out my email?
Yeah. Twitch. We're on Twitch. Good morning to everyone on Twitch. Yes, you can find Perloff at McLovin1234 at AOL.
Definitely, I knew you were going to go AOL.
855-212-4CBS. Maggie and Perloff. Let us know what you think today. We're back in moments on CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break.
got him brand new. Not even out yet. He's a friend of mine, you know. Right?
1 minute remaining. $45 seconds remaining. $30 seconds remaining. $15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
We're back on Maggie and Perloff, debating the greatest sports anthem of all time. There's so many good. I didn't realize there were this many good ones. I feel like I want to go to a game right now and just listen to a song, get fired up, and watch my team kill somebody.
Well, it's 8:30 in the morning, so maybe we could find like a rec basketball game or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what's starting right now.
Yeah,
like
actually,
a middle school swim meet.
Yeah, I'm playing basketball after the show today. I have there's a noon run.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the morning show, that's exciting. So I'm going to definitely I'm going to take the advice of this walk-up music and get fired up.
Yes, I think the Alan Parsons Project, the song Serious, which you'll know is the Chicago Bulls anthem, is number one. Perloff has gone with his hometown.
Predictable, Rocky theme.
Yeah.
But all of these are great.
Andrew Bogish, we asked you to have some walk-up music for your update. What did you pick?
Well, your Bulls choice would have been my number one, but that's off the board. Enter Sandman's another good one, but Mariano Rivera disqualifies that for me.
Little cliched.
Yeah, so I've settled on this.
You see the hurt doesn't shout, but the pain still grows. So stranger to you and me. I can feel it coming.
For the record, this is a show that supports Phil Collins all the time at every turn. Also, I like that you went with the live.
Except it's politics, but yes.
Oh, yeah, sorry, it's politics. That's not Phil Collins?
That Phil Collins has said some things. Anyway, but here's the thing. That's too heavy.
So off.
That's way too heavy a song. That is Phil Collins. No, that's Phil Collins. No, I'm saying I don't support his politics.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't support anyone's politics, so that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. I see everything except his politics. No.
Yes.
But here's the thing. That is way too heavy a song. You play that song, and then you're like, and the Thunder beat the Rockets 94-81.
No,
that is for that's for the Super Bowl result. That's way too heavy a intro.
No, the drums are such an uplift.
No, but I'm just saying,
let's go.
But is your sports update actually going to meet the moment of that song?
No, probably not.
I feel like you got to be appropriate.
It would have paled in comparison to the Bulls introductions if I came in after Alan Parsons Project.
Hold on, Bogues, with those headlines. Let's go to Adam. He's in Vancouver. Has got a good one that did not make our list. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, guys. How are we doing today?
We're doing great. What's on your mind?
Well, the Canucks, Vancouver Canucks still use it, and we've been clamoring for them to change it. But when they first started using it about 10, 15 years ago, they were skating out to The Streets Have No Name by U2.
Yeah.
And you go on Google or YouTube, watch them skate out to that. It can get you really pumped up, especially during the 2011 Cup run.
Adam, it's a great one. Thank you so much. U2 is tough for me because this is odd, but my 4-year-old kid got obsessed with U2.
Okay.
Like, I could take over for Bono right now. I know every word, every song. So if they need me for that Sphere or whatever in Vegas, I'm ready to go.
Oh, that looks amazing. Yeah, is it because of the Sing movie where Bono starred in Sing too?
No, it's because the free music that they give you on Apple TV or Apple Music, every time you plug your iPhone into our car, it starts playing U2 music, and now he's hooked.
That's cool. That's a lot better than Baby Shark and some other options here.
No, he's like into the B-sides of like their later albums. He's not even into Joshua Tree. It's tough.
Oh, their later albums.
It's tough, man.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm like, U2 from 2014. Ooh.
All right, let's not be mean here, but that is a great walk-up song, or a great theme song.
Yep. How about Preston? He's in Arkansas. Preston, what do you have?
Good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
Here is what I think. I think when it comes to being physically at the game, there's one song that stands head and shoulders above the rest as far as firing up a crowd, and that is Kerncraft 400 Sports Chant Remix, Zombie Nation.
All right. Very good.
Get everybody involved.
We are Penn State. Come on.
This is a personal one for Hickey.
No one else wants to pick it up? Okay,
no, we're good.
The other one here.
No.
Dad.
Preston, thank you. That's a great one. I mean, for colleges, yes, I associate that with Penn State. Who does Enter Sandman? South Carolina, or not Enter Sandman.
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech does Sandstorm.
South Carolina does Sandstorm. Virginia Tech does Enter Sandman. A lot of sand going around in college.
And Jump Around is Wisconsin.
Yep, we covered that one.
Okay.
Chris, California. He's got a couple for us. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for taking my call, guys. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm biased as a Raider fan, but they'd always kind of roll in there, of course, Autumn Wind written just for them, so you got to give them props for that, going into Hell's Bells by AC/DC.
It's so good.
And when they were good, that was pretty intimidating.
Chris, you're right. I mean, Hell's Bells. This is so associated with the Raiders. I do feel like every team plays this now, though. Chris, fantastic call. Thank you. This is every football stadium. But it is the Raiders.
This does feel like the black and silver.
Definitely. All right, we're a music station now. This is what we do. We listen to music. Here on Maggie and Perloff. Of course, you get the Autumn Wind as a Raider, the great John Facenda.
Oh, anything NFL films. The greatest ever.
Yeah. It's great.
Philly guy, by the way.
It's great that they still play that. I didn't know they were playing it in the arena still.
Actually, I did not know that either. I've never heard that live. I would get chills everywhere.
Okay, so that's the... Oh, yeah.
Oh, pump it into my veins.
Perloff had COVID. This was the closest he ever sounded to John Facetta.
I totally forgot that. The Autumn Wind is our Raider.
Beautiful. All right, you're welcome to weigh in on the great sports anthems. Bogish has some headlines for us.
Those pesky Houston Astros are one win away from their 7th ALCS in a row.
2-2. And Alvarez belts it to right, pretty deep, going back. Kepler on the warning track, looking up. See you later! A high, majestic shot by Yordan Alvarez, his 4th home run of the series. And it is 7-1 Astros.
That's Robert Ford on Astros Radio. 4 homers in 3 games in the series, leading to this from teammate Jose Altuve.
What he's doing is just amazing. For me, like I've been saying lately, he's the best hitter in baseball, and hopefully he continues to hit like that because, we need to win more games this playoff.
He's the best hitter in baseball. Houston cruising to a 9-1 win in Minneapolis, a 2-1 series lead. The Rangers got their sweep of the Orioles 7-1 in Game 3 in Arlington, improving to 5-0 this postseason. Baltimore doesn't win a playoff game after winning 101 during the regular season. The NL Division Series back on the field today, as well as Game 4 at Target Field. The Braves and Phillies break their tie in Philly, while the D-backs can sweep the Dodgers in Arizona. So, Perloff, you mentioned Zion becoming possibly the face of the NBA down the road.
I hope so.
Obviously, a few things had to happen for that. He needs to stay healthy. He needs to be good when he's healthy. And he might want to get a little more talkative post-game.
Not at all. Just playing basketball. All right, thanks again. You guys have a good night.
That's it? That's the whole press conference?
No, it was not the whole press conference, but that was the longest answer he gave. All the questions were like, yeah, it was good. Yeah, felt all right. Yeah, he was pretty good. Nothing was more than 4 or 5 words.
Wait, was this like a Marshawn Lynch, like I'm just here so I won't get fined?
I don't know. Does he hate them already down there? Are they crushing him for not being on the court? It just was very disinterested. It was not an attempt at a deep thought or an extended thought. It was 2.5 minutes. And I think there were 13 questions.
Oh, my goodness. That sounds so painful. Also, maybe it has something to do with like all the Instagram stuff.
Well, I was going to say, were they asking about his love life?
No. It was all basketball questions.
Meanwhile, that kind of went away. Remember
that
I know. Chick, the other chick, the side chick.
That was an interesting month going on there.
For him, I'm sure he'd use a different word. But he had the woman who they had the baby reveal, right? The gender reveal. And then the other woman came out of the woodwork and was like, wait a minute, I might be pregnant. And then it kind of went away.
Yeah. I think even her first comment was, weren't you just with me 3 days ago? And now they're doing a baby reveal? Like, it was a lot.
Like, where's that chick? Blink twice if you need help. Like, where did she go? She's gone.
Was she somebody?
She might have had an OnlyFans.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I think there was,
I think we
was a professional.
Listen, I think we throw around the term porn star. It's like anyone who's done porn is now a star. I mean, that's kind of disrespectful to the actual stars.
So she's a porn player.
She's just like a porn jag. Okay. She's just a gal, you know?
A porn participant?
Yeah, right. Bystander.
Zion, by the way, asked about being on the floor because he was on the floor for the first time since January's hamstring injury. He played 16 minutes, scoring 12 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, and a 122-105 loss to the Magic. The new NHL season began last night with some bad news. Longtime ESPN analyst, former Kings head coach Barry Melrose stepping down after a Parkinson's diagnosis. Melrose is just 67. On the ice, number 1 pick Connor Bedard debuted with an assist and a win. Chicago rallying for a 4-2 decision in Pittsburgh. The Lightning outscored the Predators 5-3, and the Golden Knights beat the Kraken 4-1 after raising their Stanley Cup banner. The official World Golf Rankings decided yesterday it cannot award rankings points to live golfers. They said this is not a political decision. It's just golf. There is no way to fairly compare live events to the other events on the 24 worldwide tours. And WNBA great Teresa Weatherspoon about to be the new head coach of the Chicago Sky. She's been a Pelicans assistant since 2020. She was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year and a 5-time All-Star during her career.
Wait, that brings it back around to Zion because she was like a really big Zion supporter and confidant, and then they fired her. And it was kind of like a shot fired almost at Zion by association. They fired his favorite coach.
Well, I mean, is Zion headed to New York? Are the Knicks salivating over Zion? Don't they think that there's some fantasy in New York fans that he's going to end up here?
I think the ship sailed on that. I think the new fantasy was, because New York has a savior complex, of course, was going to be Giannis. But now that they just gave him Dame Lillard, I don't think he's going anywhere.
That'd be
I think he's in Milwaukee now.
That would be a nice addition for the Knicks to get Giannis.
It's amazing. I can't imagine why you're not the GM. That's what those kind of insights.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, move over.
If I'm the Knicks, I would get Giannis.
It's not even a 12-point plan. It's just a 1-point plan. It's basically the Miami
CBS
Heat
Sports
strat.
Minute. Have you guys looked at this guy in Milwaukee? I think he might be good.
Giannis.
Not sure how to pronounce.
Can't say his last name, but I sure would look good on my team.
Mm-hmm. Wow, you don't get that kind of breakdown anywhere else, but right here on Maggie and Perloff. 855-212-4CBS. Thank you so much, Bogish. Got a lot more to do, including Deion Sanders. We haven't got to that yet. The very revealing moment that Deion had yesterday. We got a little into Deion's soul yesterday, so we got that to do. Of course, a lot more NFL on the way. As well. Don't move. Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Maggie and Perloff, are you okay?
I don't know. So I've had it. I'm afraid that I was afraid that there was some identity theft because I got a note from my bank saying your transaction confirmation is ready. This morning, I woke up and it said somebody had used my Shake Shack app last night.
What?
Yes. So
I don't know. We're not getting a lot of sleep these days. Maybe it was you, ordering in your sleep.
So I woke up this morning, got an alert from Shake Shack that somebody had ordered a milkshake. Now,
also, props to you for having the app. That means you're getting rewards.
You got to do the app.
Wow.
But my daughter somehow has figured out my Shake Shack password, and I'm pretty sure she snuck in a milkshake on this one. There's one around the corner from our house. So it's either identity theft or my kids are using my apps.
Your preteen / teen daughters are using your Shake Shack app.
Have you ever had that problem of identity theft? Because it's a constant fear for me.
I feel like I'm getting inundated 24 hours a day. Like,
Yes.
I get text messages. It's like, your package arrived at the warehouse, but it's from some random email address.
Oh, do not
crazy.
click. Do not click on that random email address.
No, it happened to me one time where I got a text message. This was probably like 15 years ago, where they're like, we need your something.
Yeah.
And I started to write back. I was like, oh, don't do this. And it was averted. That's as close as I got.
So I got a note from a bank saying your transaction is ready to go and confirmed. So I panicked. I'm like, I did not make a transaction this morning.
The Shake Shack?
It was the bank. So I'm like, oh my gosh, someone has my account numbers. They're like, oh no, we just charged you a $25 fee. And that's what that was. I'm like, by the way, thanks for the random $25 fee. What a ripoff. But
You got to complain about those. They get them wiped away.
do they really? Yeah. Is that the
Sorry,
method?
should I be saying that?
Please, I need advice here.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I'm just gonna, there's a couple things where I feel like it's okay to threaten to take your business elsewhere, right?
Please give them to
There's
me.
two places you do this to try to get a little bit of a better deal. One is the bank. I'd be like, all right, well, I'm just going to take my business elsewhere if you don't waive the $75 fee. It's so not worth it for them to do that. So they usually wipe it away in a minute. And the second one is you got to try it with a cable company. Now, it doesn't always work because nowadays I feel like there's not that many places you can go. Like, I'll just say, like, I have Verizon. Like, they're like, you're not leaving.
Yeah,
like, you're right.
So
I'm not. You got me.
How about this one? My car insurance just went up significantly.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
No, I thought it'd be a good one. And then they gave me the new price. And I said, okay, well, can I do it month by month as I go out and find another car insurance? They're like, go ahead. I checked. Everybody's like, car insurance rates have hiked this year. I didn't even know that.
It's funny because you thought you were doing car insurance. You were actually on your Shake Shack app, which is weird. It's like, why are they now serving French fries? Car insurance?
I'm like, could I have a large cookies and cream milkshake and double burger? Now I'm hungry for Shake Shack.
Man, I know we have to get to Daily Deion. We also have that fun story about the fast food place.
Oh, but let's save Daily Deion because...
Okay, we keep saying we're going to save Daily Deion. We've got so much to do, but this one probably should raise to the top of the list.
Oh, I like your pun there.
Pete, can we please pivot from the Daily Deion music to the Cowboy Quickie music, which I'm assuming is near the same file, but I'm asking you to do this on the fly. So now I'm going to vamp a little bit.
I could do the Cowboys Quickie music.
Fantastic job. You guys are crushing it today. A new Dallas Cowboy themed restaurant is now opening. A Raising Cane's in the Metroplex area is now going to be decked out with not just Cowboy stuff, but also Post Malone.
Yeah, this is a Post Malone, Cowboys, Raising Cane's. 3 pretty cool things all together. It's gorgeous. It's the nicest fast food restaurant I've ever seen. It's got like blue LED lights everywhere, LCD lights. LED lights, LCD sound system.
Also good Anthem.
I don't understand the beautiful paintings of Post Malone. Don't really add to my chicken finger experience.
And some of his like outfits that he wore at concerts. Anyway, just to paint the visual for you, imagine a massive Dallas Cowboys star that you drive through as part of the drive-thru. Like to drive through your order, you're driving through a big Dallas Cowboys star.
So you and I both said the same thing. The line is going to be too long here because what kid would not want to go to the Dallas Cowboys fast food restaurant?
So Instagrammable. That's your Cowboy Quickie. Now, we looked it up. There is a Raising Cane's here in New York City.
Awesome.
Predictably in Times Square, where all the chains are. Yeah. They open at 9. I mean, I think one day this week. No, Ryan's gave me. Ryan, you just shook me off like I wanted a 3-2 slider.
I mean,
do they have breakfast or is that just? They don't.
So one thing about Raising Cane's, so full disclosure, I've never eaten it because they don't have one. They only have one in Times Square and it just opened. So I've never had it before. I looked at their menu. Kudos to them. They're just keeping it with what they do well. It's just the chicken fingers, the coleslaw, and the toast. They don't feel the need to be adding burgers and breakfast sandwiches, or at least not on the website that I saw.
Yeah, the thing with Raising Cane's, my buddy in Houston takes me all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Our friend Dusty.
Oh, yeah. Love Dusty. Shout out.
The sauce. You dip the tenders in.
What
I don't
does it
know.
taste like?
It's got, I think you're in the
Russian
family of Chipotle, but I'm not quite sure. I think it's orange.
Spicy?
No, it's more like a mayonnaise.
Got it.
As I recall.
Okay.
And I love Chipotle mayonnaise. I know that's not for everybody. And maybe they have alternatives, and I haven't been there in a while, but it's really good. Now, you actually read the calorie count.
Well, they put the calorie count on there, which is...
But I thought chicken tenders were pretty healthy.
What gave you that impression? The friedness or the
It's chicken.
friedness?
It's chicken.
Okay, well, what I was surprised about with the Raising Cane's, if you're not into calories, I understand. But the chicken finger has fewer calories than the piece of toast. How is that possible? The toast has 140 calories and the chicken finger has 130.
How many of your kids' chicken tenders have you eaten during his lifetime?
60% of my body is chicken tender at this point.
I
It's
eat
not
more
even
chicken
water.
tenders. It's my main source of protein is my kids' chicken tenders.
It's all they eat. Anyway, Raising Cane's with a cowboy-themed restaurant. So.
Yeah. All right, do we have time for Deion?
I don't think. All right, let's do it. You guys are crazy.
Do you believe that? Deion.
You believe that? You guys are nuts for wanting to do this late in the hour, but I love it. Right up to the line. Deion Sanders at his press conference is good for one of these weird comments every single time. He was asked about his pregame and not pregame speeches, but like his daily speeches that he gives to his team, and he revealed where he gets the inspiration from.
Sometimes I don't even go in the meeting room thinking I'm going to give them a message. And it just happens. It just happens. And then God just impregnates me with something to give to them.
No. Oh, wow. This is
Should we start using the word impregnate more, like in our regular day-to-day?
I don't know.
Deion's the Virgin Mary of...
Maybe he was inspired by RG3, who compared a quarterback to Jesus last week.
Getting raised on the cross. Yeah. I love an RG3 game. You never know what's coming out of that guy's mouth.
That was good, Deion. You promised me something funny. I'm like, I'm kind of getting used to the routine.
Yeah.
That I did not expect.
God impregnates him with these kinds of inspirational speeches. Can I say, I could get impregnated by a Raising Cane's lunch order later? I mean, can we just start using this in our daily...
Thank you.
I don't know if that's the classiest comment you've ever made.
I'm just saying, are we going to start using impregnate a little bit more than what it actually means?
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking about. Save me. Nooch is in New Orleans. Good morning, Nooch.
Good morning, Maggie and Perloff. First time, short time. I'm new to your show, and I love it.
Thank you.
I heard you guys talking about Raising Cane's. I need you to know you have made the right decision, and the way you described it was perfect. They do what they do. They do it very well.
Right.
Whenever you go and you try it, it will be. I put my personal promise of a person you'll never meet. It will be the best fast food chicken you've ever had, and whenever you do it, please make sure you try the cane sauce. That's all I got.
What is the cane sauce? Maggie asked me. It's like a Chipotle mayonnaise, right? Or am I misremembering?
If you had to compare it to something, it's like have you ever had a remoulade sauce?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, it's like it's more domesticated remoulade. It's a little bit more basic, but it's very good.
Nooch, how do you know we're not going to meet you? I mean, I'm a little defeated by this.
Look outside your window right now. Here we are.
We're doing
What's that black
We're
van?
in the house. We're calling from in the house.
We're in New Orleans all the time, Nooch. Let's go to Raising Cane's.
I will meet you there. I'll buy you a beer, a hand grenade, and a basket of chicken.
There we go. We'll never leave. Nooch, thank you for the phone call. There we go. All right, Raising Cane's. They open in 5 minutes. Coming up, Aaron Rodgers, as we've never heard him before.
8:54 is definitely too early for a hand grenade drink in New Orleans.
Speak for yourself. Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. Forty-five seconds remaining. Thirty seconds remaining. Fifteen seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
I could get impregnated by a Raising Cane's lunch order.
He's the reigning Fortnite champion. She's a Call of Duty legend. They are Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
Welcome to the show, Maggie Gray, Andrew Perloff. It is Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio. On Wednesdays around here, we do something called the Great Debate Series. Today, greatest sports anthems, of which I believe that I have slam dunk won this debate. Feel very confident that the Alan Parsons Project song Sirius, which is the Chicago Bulls anthem, is the hands down greatest sports anthem that we have.
Yeah, I put it out on Twitter. What's the best one? A lot of people like that Bulls anthem.
It's
pretty
the
good.
best.
But there's some really fun ones. I guess in 1998, the Astros' Derek Bell walked up to Funky Cold Medina.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's pretty good. But is that like what we're talking about? That's just a fun song.
Well, in a walk-up song or like a, walk-up music or closer music, I think is associated with one person. Why I like the Alan Parsons Project song is because it's associated with a whole team and like an era of championship basketball for the Bulls. And it's so associated with winning,
Yeah. How about You're the Best, the walk-up in Karate Kid 1? You're the best around.
Yeah,
but that's a little different.
It's a movie also. That's not real.
Yeah, and someone said the Augusta theme. the
Masters?
Like the Masters theme, just as it gets you fired up if you're on your couch. I think that's exactly what we're talking about here.
Wait, the do-do? Like the Jim Nance?
Yeah,
like
the
Butler
fake birds
Cabin?
in the background. You mentioned, by the way, Renegade. I got a bunch of Renegade at Steelers games.
Yeah.
That must be. I've never been to a Steelers game. It sounds like a wild time. Oh, yeah, there we go.
This is the banger walk-up music?
It does get you in a good mood. You're like, oh, okay, I'm going to sit on my couch and I'm going to eat some food and I'm going to watch some golf.
This is every middle-aged dude in the country. Congrats. I mean, it's porn for you guys.
Yeah. No, this is
Bow Chicka Bow Wow for
that's our May
golf enthusiasts.
Our May Super Bowl. It's like, okay, family, I'm going to put you to the side and we're going to watch some golf. Oh, yeah.
The Magnolias? This doesn't do it for me.
Get some bird sounds.
Can I get the Alan Parsons Project? I mean, you're comparing it to something that just can't be compared. It's too good. We've been reimagining a few things here now that we're a morning show. I think this song might need a permanent place on this show at some point.
Huh. I don't think we'd be the first radio show to open with that song. That worries me a little bit.
It's been around since the early 90s.
Wait, just to be fair, can we play my song maybe? Get a little Rocky music in here?
Sure.
What?
Come here.
What?
Win.
Okay.
Oh.
This is only...
What are we waiting for? Take this!
Here's the thing, and this is my issue with the Rocky themes. Number one, you got two. You got this, and you have Eye of the Tiger.
No, you don't.
They're competing against each other. They're cannibalizing each other.
They're not at all.
And then number two, only Philadelphia people get pumped up
That
with
is not
this.
true. You're telling me people don't use Rocky for inspiration? Like in other cities?
Nah.
It's Rocky.
It's just your thing. No one wants to copy Philly. Anyway,
You're
so...
telling me you've never heard a Rocky story for any team besides Philadelphia? It's the most famous underdog in the history of sports movies. It's Rocky.
I know, but it's your proprietary...
No, it's America's Rocky.
855-212-4CBS. So there you go. With our great sports anthems. There's a lot more, of course, but those were two that rose to the top for us. Let us know what you think. Meanwhile, let's put off Aaron Rodgers for just a moment, guys, because we did like this idea. Ryan Hickey had this idea, a little belief meter for some of these young quarterbacks in the NFL right now, because you got a few guys who are kind of teetering. Ryan, if you have the list, I'm asking you for this on the fly. And are we going 1 to 10 here? Or are we doing grades? What do we decide? On-air production meeting.
I think grades, right? 1 to 10 work?
1 to 10 or A, B, C,
You just
D,
said both.
E, F?
No, you got to go 1 to 10.
right.
It's a belief meter. A meter is not, you can't give, a C is not an answer on a meter. It's like the meter in your house.
Oh, got it. Okay, belief
I don't know
meter.
what that means.
Couple of these young quarterbacks Hit us off, Ryan. Who's got the first one?
Let's start with Jordan Love. 3 interception game on Monday Night Football. 6 picks his last 3 games. Where's your belief meter in Jordan Love?
Jordan Love belief meter with me right now is about a 4.5. And here's why. This guy's not a rookie, okay? I was expecting that it was going to look a little bit better. Now, I realize he doesn't have a lot on his offense. He doesn't have a wide receiver he trusts right now. The line is a little banged up. I just thought it would look a little bit better, a little more buttoned up.
Yeah, I could tell in week 1 when everyone was singing his praises, I'm like, ooh, this offense does not look good. I think you're absolutely right. It's the system around him is not there yet. And they never let him run a passing offense. It reminds me of Justin Fields last year. Like, do you ever see him just have like an easy pass over the middle? No, he's always moving around. He seems to be hot in the second half. I'm going 5.5 because the upside is still there. The arm is crazy. Like, I know he underthrew that last interception against the Raiders, but he can, like Rodgers, roll to his right and fling it 60 yards downfield. So on physical ability, I'm giving him 5.5.
Ryan, who's next?
What about Commanders quarterback Sam Howell?
Even lower for me. This is going to be like a 4. It was always a little bit odd that they were so committed to Howell in the beginning. Now, he's shown some flashes, but that's what they are, flashes. And unlike Jordan Love, you know, he actually does have weapons. I mean, Terry McLaurin got paid. He's a Pro Bowler. You do have Dotson, of course. That's Ryan Hickey's guy, right? Isn't he a Penn State dude?
You know it.
You've got like offensive weapons on this team, and yet still you're not seeing any consistency from Howell yet.
I'm going way higher. I think a 6. Even in that Bears loss, like he was the better quarterback in the second half of that game. When they start moving, I do agree with you. The weapons are great there.
Yeah.
He gave my Eagles everything they could handle. They lost in overtime. I think there's something there. I think if he was drafted in the first round, we would think that he's a success.
Oh,
but
this is draft bias.
This is draft bias.
Huh.
A little bit. And his team is bad too. But I think if he was a first round pick, which he probably should have been all along, then we would not be worried about him. We'd be like, oh, the upside is still there because he's mobile, clearly has enough arm strength. He's a little short, but I think he's a really interesting player.
Who's next, Ryan?
Speaking of weapons, seems like Desmond Ridder has a lot of weapons down there in Atlanta. Where's your belief meter right now in the second-year quarterback?
Well, congrats. You beat the Texans, which is actually not bad. The Texans are a better football team than I think any of us really thought. And my belief meter on C.J. Stroud would be like a 7 right now. But for Ridder, it's going to be lower, like a 3.5. Again, coming off of a good game, but that's kind of it, right?
Yeah.
We haven't had anything, and the fact that he does have these weapons, I was a big Ridder supporter when he was coming out in the combine and the draft, but I have to say I've jumped off the bandwagon.
Yeah, I think he saved his job last week with that win because Taylor Heineke's breathing down, and I think Arthur Smith might want to make a move for Ryan Tannehill or something because that's a playoff team that he is torpedoing a little bit.
What about Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, people say Cousins. I feel like Tannehill might be a better option because he knows Arthur Smith's offense like the back of his hand. So I wonder about the adjustment period there. Cousins would be good too. I'm at a 2. I don't quite understand what they saw in Desmond Ridder coming into the season because they are really kind of loaded for bear at other parts of their offense.
You make a good point about Heineke too. High-end backup. You know, a guy who can actually win you games, not just come in and kind of just be a guy.
Winning that game was so important for Ridder and playing well in it, too. If not, then I think that would be one of the big storylines this week. What's Atlanta going to do? All right, who's next?
All right, scale 1 to 10. What is your belief in Patriots quarterback Mac Jones?
I mean, are we going into the negatives here? It's like a -2. I'm sorry. Mac Jones, he fooled me a little bit because that first rookie season when they made the playoffs, I know it wasn't perfect, but it's like, all right, if this is his first year in the league, he'll build on this and build on this. There's a lot of people to blame and a lot of blame to go around here. Bill Belichick is not blameless here. The different types of offensive coordinators, the fact that he doesn't have great weapons, but Mac Jones has kind of been a 0 and a little bit too of that loser energy, right? Like there was the stories coming out that he was kind of going outside the organization to look for some help. And I don't know if that's what you want for your quarterback.
Well, think about it. Name a young quarterback who can't run at all. Mac Jones runs like he's 42 years old. He is so unathletic, which might work in the right system, but I think they misjudged what you need in today's quarterback. That's my big problem. Also, it's his arm and like everything about him is not great. I'm at a 0, actually. I don't think I don't think there's any system that he's going to find that fits him. It's not going to work in New England, so where does he go? I think he's already a backup.
Interesting. Did you see that Dan Orlovsky said that if he was in San Francisco, he'd be better than Brock Purdy?
Oh, yeah. Well, San Francisco, yeah, anybody can go there. There's 60 quarterbacks. You could be, by the way, you could be a 0 on our belief meter and still win a playoff game in San Francisco.
All right, who's next?
Let's stick in the AFC East. How about Jets quarterback Zach Wilson?
Like a 1.5? Which is up from 0.
Skyrocketing confidence in Zach Wilson.
I know, I'm bleeding confidence in Zach Wilson. No, a 1.5 for me. Listen, Denver's defense stinks, and he still threw a bad pick at the end of that game, and that was a roller coaster. Let's not act like the Jets won that game and they had it the whole way. Like, it took a sack fumble of Russell Wilson in return for a touchdown to really seal it.
I am enjoying this Zach Wilson experience so much. To see him give just enough hope to those poor Jets fans and then throw it. Beautiful 20-yard pass to Garrett Wilson and then throw a pick the next play. I'm at a half. And I think the bad thing is he's showing just enough where the Jets are going to keep him and not trade for a veteran and probably cost themselves a playoff trip this year. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen.
I think you're right, and Jets fans should be incensed about that because if you had a chance to actually bring in anyone, I don't know if they did. They brought in Trevor Siemian. But if you had a chance to bring in anybody who could be a little bit more competent and did not do it, that just screams ego from the organization because you picked him second overall and you don't want to admit that you're wrong, or you're just keeping the bed warm until Aaron Rodgers comes back. Here's a question about Rodgers. So he's going to be 40 coming off the Achilles. They're putting all their eggs into the Rodgers basket for next season. I'm not trying to be this person, and I'm not wishing it on him, I promise. But what happens if he comes out in the first game, hurts himself again? You're going to find yourself in the same position. You'll have no one but yourself to blame.
You don't have confidence in a 40-year-old coming off an ACL, Maggie? What's wrong with
Achilles, not ACL.
Yeah, you know he's doing different surgical procedures and rehab methods that anyone in history has done.
Yeah, I know. The Dolphins fornicating, it's all very funny.
I mean, listen, look what you're trying to break down. You're saying the Jets don't have a sound plan at quarterback? That's like saying the sun is going to rise tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes, of course not.
And I've been somebody who's actually been critical of Joe Douglas. And everyone tells me, no, you can't be critical of Joe Douglas because he drafted Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. Okay, great for you. But have you solved the most important position in the entire sport? No, you got lucky that Aaron Rodgers wanted to come to New York basically to stick it in the face of the Packers.
Yeah, I love Joe Douglas. I will say no.
Love Joe Douglas.
Yeah, he's such a good dude. Salt of the earth.
There's so many. Okay, a lot of guys are good dudes. It doesn't mean, but I'm talking about critically what he's done with the team.
Yeah, no, the Zach Wilson pick was bad, but if he had just picked the right quarterback there, the problem was that draft. That draft was Trevor Lawrence 1, Zach Wilson 2, Trey Lance 3, Justin Fields 11, and Mac Jones 15. So, was there another quarterback out of that group you want?
No, but I probably would have actually rather had probably Fields. He's the only one.
That's inspiring. Is that who's next there, Ryan?
We have two more. We can go right to Justin Fields.
Yeah, Justin Fields to me is the least at like a 4.5.
Okay.
At least he's shown that he can throw the ball. And when they actually get the ball to DJ Moore, it looks good, yes.
I'm going to go up to 6 on Justin Fields.
Look at you.
Dude's thrown 8 TDs in the last 2 games. There's something there. 6. I'm not even sure it's going to happen in Chicago because they might get the number 1 pick. But do you think, here's the question, has he earned the right to start next season somewhere? Or at least compete for the starting job?
I think that someone's going to bring him in to compete for the starting job.
Yeah.
If it's not Chicago, definitely. I don't know if it's salvageable in Chicago. Maybe he needs to go somewhere else. But he's shown that he can throw the ball.
And I think the issue, too, is Chicago's had such bad luck, like the Jets at quarterback, that other teams are going to look at him and say, wow, if we got him into our system, he'd be much better. So he's shown enough to save his job. Although, you know how teams are. They might hold on to Justin Fields and not draft a quarterback.
Oh, that'd be weird. Is there actually another person on this list?
Yeah, wait, there's another one? Who do we got?
One more. Kenny Pickett.
Oh, boy.
Where's your belief level?
That is a can of worms right there.
He's the new Bermuda Triangle. This used to be the Derek Carr was the Bermuda Triangle of quarterbacks. You just can't have a conversation with him. You end up crashing your boat right into the middle of the ocean.
Who do you blame for Kenny Pickett's struggles?
So here's the thing about Pickett. I'm going to give him a 5.5. Again, another person I was high on coming out of college, but I'm going to give him a 5.5, and here's why. Kenny Pickett has shown last year and this year he can lead a game-winning drive. Those other quarterbacks that we're talking about, like, I don't know if I don't trust Justin Fields for a game-winning drive. I don't trust Mac Jones for a game-winning drive. Zach Wilson, no. Like, at least I've seen Pickett be able to win the game when it mattered.
I am going to go even higher. I'll go 5.5 because you got to get him away from Matt Canada. So he has the biggest built-in excuse, the most beleaguered offensive coordinator in the NFL, Matt Canada. So if you take Canada out of the picture and you give him an offensive mind, which I don't think Mike Tomlin's in any hurry to do, then I think you can be much better. Guy's got an arm. He can move around a little bit. Seems to make good choices. I think there's a lot of potential there.
855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. We've got a poll question out, right? I believe we do. The poll question today is about rivalries. Who's the best rivalry in the NFL right now? And your choices were thus.
Oh, boy.
Cowboys 49ers or Aaron Rodgers, Travis Kelce. And right now, Rodgers Kelce is leading at 58%.
Yeah, there's no real 49ers Cowboys rivalry.
So instead, it's like vaccine, no vaccine with Kelce and Rodgers. A conversation that, quite frankly, we haven't had in like 18 months. But the two of them, well, Rodgers is bringing it back into the fold.
Honestly, I think the vaccine is just an excuse. I think it's Aaron Rodgers does not like an NFL player getting more attention than him. This is how can I get the attention back? Not whether I believe in the vaccine or not.
You think it's all a ruse just to keep his name in the headlines?
I just think he sees Travis Kelce getting all these commercials, State Farm, dating Taylor Swift, all these profiles. He doesn't like that. I don't think this is about Fauci and the vaccine.
Yeah.
I think this is about the spotlight.
It's about the attention. I got to admit, we'll play a little Rodgers sound coming up in the next segment, but I have to admit, I feel like I've become an Aaron Rodgers body language expert now because of all these appearances on Pat McAfee. And every time they're not talking directly to him or about him, he looks completely disinterested. Like he can't even fake the interest if they're not talking to him or about him.
Well, why would they be talking about something else?
They'll go on a little tangent, a little side thing, and he's just like staring off into space. They can't keep his interest for 5 seconds if it's not about him. Meanwhile,
well, I mean, he's an interview subject. Maybe he has a right to be like that.
We will play some Aaron Rodgers for you in just a moment. Yes, we're buying in. 855-212-4CBS. Also, your greatest sports anthems. That's the topic of our great debate series today. So much to do. So glad you're with us. It's Maggie and Perloff on CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. .45 seconds remaining. .30 seconds remaining. .15 seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
We're back here on Maggie and Perloff. So we're now a morning show, 6 to 10 Eastern, here on CBS Sports Radio. I think we need a ground rule on an important topic. I think you guys are a little mean rooting against my teams. How do you approach your coworkers' teams? So the Phillies play tonight, and I know you do not want them to win. Just admit it. Right.
I do not.
And I root against your teams. I actually found myself rooting against the Bills the other day, who I used to love. So,
I've ruined them for you.
Yes. What is this instinct to want your friends to suffer?
It's funny because I don't want you to suffer.
Wow.
Like personally, I want you to prosper.
But
I just want all your teams to fail.
You don't want me walking in with that air of, ooh, I just won a game last night. It's obnoxious.
No, it's actually not. I don't even care about the Eagles, actually. I'm okay with the Eagles. I've got other Philadelphia sports fans in my family that are Eagles fans. It's something about the Phillies. That's where you lost me.
Yeah,
I hated Chase Utley so much. That's part of it.
So if the 76ers or the Flyers won, you'd be fine with that?
76ers I'm okay with, yeah. Flyers, I got no beef.
Okay. That's good to know. Well,
it's just you
good for
and
me. The Eagles are really good. Yeah.
855-212-4CBS. Came across this video. Get to the calls in a moment. Came across this video. Apparently the weather in South Bend is supposed to be really, really crappy this weekend. So you got USC coming to town. USC's not used to playing in some really bad weather. So there's practice footage. It's coming out that's got a coach with like basically it's not like a hose. It's like something you would spray like insecticide on your lawn. That's full of water, hopefully. Just water. And they're spraying guys trying to come up with punt returns and kick returns, like to simulate the rain.
Wow.
I don't think that's going to work. It's supposed to be like a deluge, too. I don't think a couple sprinkles coming out of a hose is going to do it.
So if Notre Dame wins because of the rain, does the committee look at that loss and say USC has an excuse because of that? That's a good I know Notre Dame's favored in that game.
Can you do a weather excuse?
Yeah, if you're looking at the committee and USC somehow wins the Pac-12, they could be like, well, they lost to Notre Dame, but it was raining.
Yeah, but USC plays at Oregon, and it rains in Oregon, and
well, yeah, but you might get
part of the Pac-12.
You might get lucky and not rain in Oregon. I mean, have the Ducks played a rain game yet this year? I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't think the committee can do that. Is there a weather stipulation?
The committee takes into all types of things. Yeah, I think if USC loses this game to Notre Dame, they have a great excuse. If this rain is going to be where you say it will.
Yeah, looks like high of like 59 and just lots and lots of rain.
Yeah,
like 5 hours of rain.
That is not good for USC. When you think about their offense and their defense and Audric Estime on Notre Dame, that's not good.
Let's go to the phones. Chai is in Pennsylvania, wants to weigh in on our great debate series, which is Greatest Sports Anthem. Hey, Chai.
Hey, how are you guys doing? First off, I'd like to say I really miss you guys on the afternoon drive home, but your morning show seems to be just as entertaining.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, and Maggie, you could hate me too because I love all Philadelphia teams. We could talk for like another hour about the Phillies game on Monday, but I would like to address the Rocky theme's national appeal.
Sure.
Okay, I got a little story to back it up. While I was in boot camp, U.S. Army Infantry, Fort Benning, Georgia, the morning that we woke up to do our final physical training test, they woke us up to the Rocky theme, and this is in Georgia.
Wow.
And U.S. Army is everybody mixed.
Yeah.
But they woke us up to that, and
wait a minute, Chai. Can I ask you a question? Forgive me because I've never served, and thank you for serving. But did they use music a lot as motivational tool?
No, that was like no. They come in and bang on garbage cans and shit. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, close. We knew what you were talking about.
Like the Houston Astros.
A little bit different, Chai. Thank you.
There's no debate.
I hate when we have to drop guys. Like he dropped such a casual curse word. It was so innocuous, but we have to drop you.
That's a great point, though. Rocky is not a Philadelphia movie. I mean, when Rocky took on Drago, he was not representing South Philadelphia. He was representing America.
To say that Rocky isn't a Philly movie, you got a statue of the guy outside of one of your greatest landmarks.
But isn't he a great American hero?
Yeah, but Apollo Creed was also a great American hero.
Yeah,
Remember, Apollo Creed used to come out with like the, Uncle Sam outfit.
How'd that work out?
I'm just saying. Apollo Creed was also a great American.
Yeah, and who was in his corner? Rocky. Yeah, they were the great American team there. Well, sort of. They underperformed. They were like that Olympic team that lost.
The 04
they were
men's national team.
I don't think Rocky is a Philadelphia movie. Philadelphia movies. Like Invincible with Mark Wahlberg as a Philadelphia Eagle. That was a Philadelphia movie.
Then you guys got to all get on the same page.
Because Rocky is a big thing.
Because you claim Rocky like you wrote it. Like you guys claim Rocky for Philly and claim it. And you're playing at the Eagles games and playing all your games. And now all of a sudden it's a national thing. I'll tell you what, they've never played the Rocky theme at USC, I don't think. Or
I'm sure the band has played the Rocky theme.
Okay, I've never heard it at a Knicks game. I can only talk about really New York. I don't think Alabama's playing it. Do you? Crimson Tide? No way.
I'm sure it's a big song for bands to play. I'm sure marching bands have played the Rocky theme.
Okay, maybe. I'm just saying. It's more associated with Philly. And I guess apparently the U.S. Army, who used to use it as a motivational tool for guys like Chai.
I don't know. You guys ever hear the Rocky theme in a non-Philadelphia sporting event? I have no idea. You're right. I've never heard it elsewhere, but I'm assuming.
You told us to live bet the Eagles every time that theme comes on. It's yours. It's Phillies.
Okay. Well, we'll take it. But, I mean, you saw him beat Drago. That was not for Philadelphia. That was for all of us, Maggie.
And we appreciate that. Bogish is here with some headlines. Good morning.
Good morning again. Key players going on IR fast and furious this week in the NFL. Colts QB Anthony Richardson is the latest thanks to Sunday's shoulder injury. This means Gardner Minshew gets at least 4 starts after winning twice in relief already this season. Cardinals running back James Conner went on IR yesterday with a knee injury. Steelers receiver Deontay Johnson's been on IR since week 2. He said yesterday He'll be back from his hamstring injury after this weekend's bye. And Chargers running back Austin Eckler says there's a 99% chance he plays Monday night against the Cowboys. Eckler hasn't played since hurting his ankle in Week 1. The AL East sent 3 teams to the postseason, and not one of them won a single game. The Rays and Blue Jays swept in the wild card round. The Orioles swept in 3 in the ALDS. 7-1 losers at the Rangers last night. That game was 6-0 after 2 innings. Here's rookie shortstop Gunnar Henderson.
Definitely not how you want to end it. Hated it ended that way, but there's good that can come out of this. We can use it for fuel for next year, and just don't want to feel this feeling again.
The Rangers now wait on the Astros and Twins. Houston took a 2-1 lead with yesterday's 9-1 victory. Christian Javier survived 5 walks to throw 5 scoreless. His postseason ERA is now 1.91 over 37 innings.
Okay, the AL East bombed out. Does that make you feel better as a Yankee and Red Sox fan that the other teams did poorly? Does that, you know what I'm saying? Is that like a victory in itself?
Well, no, because those teams beat you a lot, and turns out maybe they're not that great. So baseball postseason is so weird, though. Like, the Orioles were objectively a great team. We watched them play.
Yeah.
Just, the Rangers are hotter.
Yeah, baseball makes no sense. But I feel like this is, if I'm a Yankee fan, I take a little comfort in this. To see the Rays go all the way would be hard.
A little, but Yankee fans also still hate the Astros, and they're still alive.
Ooh, okay.
So they're waiting on that, too. They'll take an Astros exit as soon as possible.
My family, my wife's family is Red Sox fans, and they're so depressed right now. Not seeing that team, it's tough. You guys are used to being there.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Poor Red Sox fan.
Can you play Sweet Caroline to bug Maggie?
Please don't. It's my least favorite song besides Don't Stop Believin' by Journey.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline.
It sounds like when a crowd does this, it's like, all right, so it sounds like 40,000 perverts all standing together, touching me, touching you, touching everything.
I did think of this, though, with the topic of today about favorite sports themes, because I saw a clip when West Virginia and Pitt met, and West Virginia sings this, I think, between third and fourth quarters. And instead of the bop, bop, bop part, they all, as a stadium, sang Eat Bleep Pitt.
Yeah.
Which was, I even showed it to my kids. I thought it was that cool.
Inspired.
They're 12 and 9.
Wait. We just passed over the fact that Maggie does not like one of the great American songs of all time.
Oh, yeah, Journey, Don't Stop Believin'.
You're the only person I know who does not like Don't Stop Believin' and does not enjoy it when it comes on the car radio. What's not to like?
Guys, enough. No. Don't do it.
A couple of beers in the bar, you're not singing along to this?
Guys, we're better than this.
Well, might be, but still. Make exceptions.
We're definitely not.
You're not.
Wait. How can you not like, first of all, anything Journey does and anything Neil Diamond does are awesome, but everybody loves the song. Did you see the last scene of Sopranos?
That's part of it. I think it got so crazy overplayed because of Sopranos. And
overplayed? It's been a massive hit since 1984.
I know, we can't go 4 minutes without this song coming on the radio.
This is another great in-stadium song where everybody sings along to this.
Yeah, because usually when your team's trailing by 2 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, thematically. This comes on at every Eagles game, and the crowd goes nuts, too.
Man, you guys will go nuts for anything.
Yeah, Eddie, are you kidding me? Every song, that's the thing about being at a sporting event. Songs like this that you know since you're a kid, it's a great opportunity to sing them. Sweet Caroline, Don't Stop Believin'. I can't believe you're a hater on stuff like this.
Listen, I think I'm just past the point of my life where it's 4 a.m. at the bar, and everyone's last call, just like arms around each other. I think I'm over that part of my life, sadly. Now I'm bitter about it, apparently.
God forbid you sit in a bar and have fun and sing Neil Diamond with your friends.
I'll boo myself. What else we got?
I got to mention again that Dylan Brooks got tossed just 433 into his Rockets preseason debut for hitting Indiana's Daniel Tice in the undercarriage as Tice set a screen. Brooks denies the allegations.
Flagrant 2 foul, you got to really know that a person's doing it on purpose or intentionally, and that's really going at who I am as a person. So, that ref, Mitch, that just shows that he just doesn't, know who I am as a person. He's just going based off of what's being said.
The corrupt ref in question is Mitch Irvin.
Wait, how would Mitch know who Dylan Brooks is as a person?
Yeah, by the way, and I love that he called him Mitch. It's like, listen, Mitch.
You got to be on a first name basis with the refs.
I love last night when the NHL officials said, welcome Connor, before the Blackhawks game. Bogus, you saw that. Well,
Yes.
Is that a normal thing? Right before face-off, he goes, welcome Connor to the NHL. I'm like, there are other new guys here, too. What does he get the special attention for?
So the live mic was new because that mic was popping on during the broadcast as well, like during scrums. I think that's a new maybe ESPN thing.
Yeah.
But so it was on and ready to go. And I'm sure somebody said, say something clever. The mic's going to be on. Because he said, Sydney, welcome back to Crosby.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
And
Okay.
then Connor, welcome. Let's have a good game at showtime. And he dropped the puck.
I mean, what are they, like handing out superlatives next? Like,
Yeah, I don't think the officials should be part of the, cheering
Broadcasting?
squad here. That doesn't sound. But I would like to have Mitch mic'd for the next time he does a Dylan Brooks game. Now, to hear what Dylan Brooks and the official talk about, that'd be fun.
We have our poll up, best rivalry right now.
Yeah.
It's Cowboys 49ers, Kelsey versus Rodgers. Now Mitch versus Dylan Brooks.
Yeah. But, it's also that time in the NBA where you're going to have to figure out who's on what team. You're like, Houston's Dylan Brooks against Indiana's Daniel Tice. Wait, isn't he on the Celtics and isn't Dylan Brooks on the Grizzlies? There's going to be a big adjustment period here.
Let's check back in with Zion now, who was on the court last night for the first time since hurting his hamstring January 2nd.
And I was just playing basketball, to be honest.
Oh, thanks. Head coach Willie Green, a little more to say.
I thought he was great. He looked good. He does what he does. He gets on the floor. He creates contact. His gravity gets guys open looks.
That's a new one. His gravity gets guys open looks.
I get that. I get it.
I've just never heard it before.
He gets the ball. It's like stones falling towards the ground. Like everybody moves in on him. Watch the game and you'll see it. I totally understand that. But he does what he does, Andrew.
Yeah, of course. Zion had 12 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists in 16 minutes. Back to hockey, number 1 pick, Connor Bedard, debuting last night in Pittsburgh. Took the opening faceoff, as we just said, with Sidney Crosby, who's entering his 19th season. Crosby scored last night. Bedard had an assist and a win. 4-2. The Vegas Golden Knights raised their Stanley Cup banner, then beat the Kraken 4-1. And quick back to baseball, something to keep an eye on. Japanese high school baseball star Rintaro Sasaki, most home runs in high school history in the country, is coming to the States to play college baseball instead of being the likely number 1 pick in the Nippon professional baseball draft. That gets him into the majors 3 years from now, theoretically, as opposed to like 7 or 8 had he played in Japan, waited to be posted.
Wait.
Can he pitch too?
No, he's just
if
a
he
hitter.
can't, then I don't want to hear about it.
He gets to the pros faster by choosing to go to an American
Because he
college.
comes here, goes to college, and then after 3 years, he can be drafted into MLB. But if he stays in Japan, they have to put him, make him available.
Sorry, why can't he go to a minor league team now?
Because he has to be drafted. He has to, because
if you draft him number 1 out of high school, can't he just start?
He's not draft. Fee. Yeah, no, there is no posting fee, but he's not draft eligible because he's not born here.
Okay, and where's he going to college?
We don't know yet.
That's an interesting decision. If you're him, like, where do you go to play college baseball?
Wherever the NIL money is the most.
Good point, but
that's a great point.
But the problem is, to get NIL money, you need to be a citizen, and even for current, there's a rule about.
Wow.
You can't just have like a visa, a green card or something?
The visa doesn't let you get paid for something that's not connected to what you're. I'm going to word it incorrectly.
Yeah.
But athletes that are here now that are playing on visas are not eligible for NIL money.
So all these Australian punters and stuff can't take any NIL money?
So that's another probably legal thing that will come up. But he's not going to come here right now and cash in on NIL money because he's not.
That feels un-American.
Well, he should just do it the old-fashioned way. I mean, college players have been getting paid these 60 years leading up to NIL.
Yeah. His dad will have a tractor in Japan or whatever, but he can't do anything here.
Congrats. Here's a suitcase full of cash for you. Thank you, Andrew Bogish. That is interesting.
That is so. There are so many tentacles to that story.
You know what it's going to be now? This is going to be a hack that like college football coaches who are the most diabolical will try to get around NIL.
But they don't pay the NIL.
No, but it's the collective and I'm assuming the coach.
It's not a salary cap.
It's like, yeah, but it kind of could be, right? You only have so much money in the collective.
How many foreign
now you got to get like German defensive ends and stuff.
Yeah, but it's college football. How many real foreign prospects are there?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now you got to go mine the Europe and
Yeah, like Jordan Mailata from Down Under.
Exactly.
I like it. This is so complicated. So this guy, when's he going to be in baseball, in the pros?
In 3 years.
3 or 4 years. Well, he can be drafted in 3 years.
Is he going to be good?
It's like
Have you scouted an 18-year-old Japanese player?
Not yet.
Jeez, bogus.
I just think
with your life?
Otani's raised the bar so high. I expect some huge Japanese player to splash soon.
He's from Otani's high school, by the way.
Oh, there we go. I mean, there's other Japanese guys who are here now who are doing great. Some better than others.
Okay, but I need a phenom. I need a big time. Just keep me interested here.
God forbid you not Otani. Perloff's like, I got no use for you.
Yeah, you asked, does the guy pitch? That was a relevant question.
855-212-4CBS. Okay, see you guys on the phones. Get back to you in just a moment. We have not gotten to Aaron Rodgers yet. We will do that next. Maggie and Perloff, CBS Sports Radio.
You're in a 5-minute break. Four minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Four minutes remaining. Three minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Three minutes remaining. Two minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Two minutes remaining. One minute, 30 seconds remaining. One minute remaining. 45 seconds remaining. Seconds remaining. Seconds. Break ends in 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Maggie and Perloff. I just saw footage, Max Scherzer celebrating in the Rangers clubhouse like he's been with the team since 2005. Give me a break. 8 games with the Rangers. He's not even on the postseason roster. He's celebrating like, he's 22-year-old, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Come on.
So this is what you have to do now, just root against former Mets? That's your baseball fandom in the postseason?
Yes, it is.
Because I'd like to see Zach Wheeler celebrating in the Phillies dugout soon, too.
Well, they should have never let Zach Wheeler go. We already know that. 855-212-4CBS. Phil's in Pennsylvania wants to weigh in on the great sports debate for today, which is best sports anthem. I said Sirius by the Alan Parsons Project, shorthand the Chicago Bulls theme song. Perloff says Rocky. Good morning, Phil. How are you?
Morning, Maggie. Morning, Perloff. How you guys doing today?
Great.
I think the Rocky theme is basically, officially trademark Philadelphia. I mean, I've been to lots of stadiums outside Philadelphia. Not once have I heard the Rocky theme, because it's basically, if you play it, you're basically, giving a nod and paying homage to Philadelphia lore, which they're not going to do. I heard of a poll once of that, they ranked, the number one movie in each state for Pennsylvania. It was Rocky.
That makes sense.
I don't think other, teams want to, pay that respect to Philadelphia, because obviously Philadelphia is not liked around the United States in the sports world.
Wait, obviously. Wait, people don't like Philadelphia?
I know.
Is this? Are you finding this out for the first time?
But Phil, everybody loves Rocky, right? You can, even if you hate Philadelphia, if you live in LA or something, you gotta love Rocky.
Yeah, it's kind of like not being a Notre Dame fan and liking Rudy. It's like the same thing.
Great point. Phil, on point, as usual. Great to hear from you. Thank you so much. Yes, it's you play Rocky in a different stadium besides something in Philadelphia. It's like you're endorsing Philadelphia, where in that instance, you don't want to do that. It's a competition.
Well, Rudy was a walk-on in Notre Dame. I mean, he never beat Clubber Lang.
Rocky was the walk-on of boxers,
Yeah, but he won the heavyweight belt. Rudy had 2 plays or something.
I know, but it's such a good movie. 855-212-4CBS. They're both great movies, but I think Rocky is so Philly. Let's get to our shot of the day.
He shoots!
The shot of the day is brought to you by Casamigos Tequila. Casamigos is brought to you by those who drink it, people like me. Today's shot of the day, a little snapshot of the show, comes from earlier. We were talking about a new Dallas Cowboys theme Raising Cane's restaurant, and it led to this discussion. God impregnates him with these kinds of inspirational speeches. Can I say, I could get impregnated by a Raising Cane's lunch order later? I mean, can we just start using this in our daily...
Thank you.
I don't know if that's the classiest comment you've ever made.
I'm just saying, are we going to start using impregnate a little bit more than what it actually means? I should have set that up differently.
Wow.
That was Deion Sanders, who said that he gets inspiration from God to tell his team, to give them motivational speeches. And he said God impregnates him with ideas for speeches.
I think that's the most cringy I've ever been on the show. I heard that back when you said I went to get impregnated by a chicken tender. You got to admit, out of context.
I get impregnated by a Raising Cane's lunch order. I said lunch order. I didn't say chicken finger.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, right. But even so, that just strikes me as wrong.
Wait,
Maybe
very,
the word
very
with
wrong.
would have worked better than by.
Now you tell me, Ryan.
Even that's not great, Ryan. No.
Can we hear the Deion cut just in case nobody heard us from before and you're like, what are these people talking about? This is with Deion from his press conference yesterday talking about, getting inspired by God.
Sometimes I don't even go in the meeting room thinking I'm going to give them a message. And it just happens. It just happens. And then God just impregnates me with something to give to them.
I'm a child because I can't hear that with a straight face. I didn't know we were using the word impregnate for anything besides getting pregnant.
Well, Deion can use any word he wants at this point.
That's true.
Talking about America's favorite person, that would be Deion. He's the new Rocky. But I don't think you're supposed to use impregnate.
Maybe Deion's trying to bring it back. Maybe we start, or not bring it back. Maybe he's trying to start a trend where we start using impregnate for all different types of things.
Yeah, but this idea of having an idea being impregnated, like, hey, what should we talk about on tomorrow's show? Impregnate me with some ideas. That's wrong. And it's one thing for a guy to say it. For a woman to say it is even more wrong.
I know, but I'm not your average gal.
Well, you're married. Don't say impregnate me anything. Just leave it.
I know. Let's get to Aaron Rodgers.
What the is Aaron Rodgers up to today?
It's technically yesterday. He was on with Pat McAfee, of course. I thought he was pretty honest about a couple things here. One was talking about the trade deadline in the NFL. It's coming up at the end of the month, and who's tanking and who's actually trying.
The trade deadline is so much more of a thing now in the NFL. And I think it's coming up at the end of this month, right? So you're going to see, just like in baseball, after that All-Star break happens, who's selling and who's buying. So basically, who's tanking for Caleb Williams and who's trying to make a push here.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, just like us. We're talking about who's tanking for Caleb Williams. I wasn't sure how big of a conversation that'd be in like an actual NFL locker room, but he's kind of admitting that.
He was in an NFL locker room. He was visiting one yesterday. What are you talking about? He's basically in the media right now.
But he's giving insight as an active professional athlete.
He's not an active professional athlete.
He's a rehabbing professional
He could be.
athlete.
He should. You know what? He should have done the second he tore his Achilles. He should have just joined one of the networks and done a season because he's so good at analyzing things. Football. Let me be clear about that.
Yeah. When he gets out of his lane, it's a little different.
But I don't even know if he's absolutely right because we say in theory, and we write a lot of articles, and I have to look at last year. I don't even remember. Is the NFL trade deadline really becoming the MLB trade deadline, or are we trying to wish that into existence?
That's a good question. I think Caleb Williams being the sort of pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is maybe enticing people to talk about it more. Like, hey, you've got this guy sitting here. If you're going to be mediocre, you might as well just be really bad.
I said it earlier in the show. There's 9 teams who people are saying should tank. You have to realize all those head coaches are fighting for their lives and want to win. They're not tanking. Tennessee is not tanking.
But should they be? Aaron Rodgers also talking about Jordan Love coming off a 3-interception performance against the Raiders.
Listen, there's going to be growing pains. I had growing pains my rookie year. We all go through it. He's going to be just fine. Like I said, he's a great kid. They got a young team. They've had some injuries. Aaron Jones has been out the last few weeks. He's a dynamic player. I would just say to the Packer fans, just take some deep breaths. Just trust his kid. He's a great kid. He cares about it. He's going to be around for a while, and they're going to get it fixed.
I feel like Rodgers is more complimentary of the Packers now that he's not on the Packers than he was when he was actually playing for them.
But that was classic, his version of RELAX. Mm-hmm. It's a great point. I mean, He did that many times in Green Bay where the sky was falling. He just walked in the press conference and said, you guys all got to chill. And he was almost always right. So that makes me feel much better about my guy, Jordan Love.
Yeah, I mean, a little different when it's Rodgers throwing to Devontae Adams. Maybe you can RELAX.
I mean, I'm not sure Devontae was there for RELAX.
Actually, he might not have been. That might have still been Jordy Nelson.
He did it for, it might have been Devontae, but he always did that. Like, basically, they would lose and we do what we do. Everybody overreacts. He's like, this team is good. It made me. Did you feel a little something for Jordan Love there? Maybe it's going to all work out.
Rodgers, there's like an institutional knowledge that he had done it before. We've never seen Jordan Love do anything.
And also, Rodgers says nice things about Zach Wilson.
Right. So, how good is his analysis really?
We'll see.
Just kidding. 855. Oh, I'm not going to give out the number because we got to go. Thank you to Ryan Hickey. Thank you to Pete Pilati, Andrew Kaplan, Andrew Bogish, Weedos and coffee drinkers and callers. Everyone, great job today. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.